purpose. I help them start their own businesses because it is the only way to gain a competitive edge in life using the tools of entrepreneurship. I am on a mission to impact 500,000 individuals in my lifetime to monetize their own unique gifts, start a business, and change the trajectory of their lives forever. Hello, my name is Loretta Wetzel, also known as Mama Soul Wisdom, where I share old school wisdom for a new generation. I am the founder and CEO of Heart to Wealth LLC, and I hail all the way from Chi-Town, better known as Chicago, Illinois, or the Windy City. And yes, we definitely have the best deep dish pizza. With my help, my clients will crush it by starting their own small business, break negative patterns, and live a life of freedom and choice for themselves and their families while generating multiple streams of income. It's not just what you leave financially for your children, it's also what you leave in your children. Values, financial discipline, wealth, and knowledge to succeed in life. Education through exposure will create a better world. There isn't much positive news in the media these days, and exposure is the key to what's possible for yourself and your families to live a life you've always dreamed of. You can do it. Don't fake it until you make it. Faith it until you make it. Take consistent and intentional action, and your wish will be fulfilled.
Well, Lord, Loretta Dooley Wetzel said, stop messing around. Do you really want success? Stop messing around. Do you really want success? Now, I'm not going to have her talking to me like that, but she's speaking truth to power. Is she speaking to your inner self? Let's dig in. Because I had to ask myself that, am I messing around? Are you messing around? Let's find out. Go ahead. Hit the emojis. Bring on Loretta, because we need to find out what Loretta knows so we can get moving. See y'all in a few minutes.
What if you could do right by your family? You want to live in good neighborhoods and have access to extracurricular activities for your family, don't you? It's better to send your kids to the best schools for quality education, isn't it? Why, that's not possible, you might say. I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, and my circumstances are really tough. While some of those statements may be true, it's really your belief system that has you stuck. But if you are ready to hear the truth, say yes. If you are ready to stop messing around and break the cycle of negativity, say yes. According to a published 2020 study on 233 millionaires, over 75% of those millionaires were self-made, meaning they didn't inherit their money. 51% of them were entrepreneurs, and 41% of that population came from poor households. People, we have no excuse. With technology available at our fingertips today, it is easier than ever to start your own business. My name is Loretta Wetzel, also known as Mama Soul Wisdom, where I share old school wisdom for a new generation. I am passionate about families and entrepreneurship. Why? Because it is the only way to gain a competitive edge in life for yourself and your family. Business ownership develops multiple streams of income and eventually points toward passive income where you begin to build true wealth. I am on a mission to impact 500,000 individuals and families to monetize their own unique gifts and start their own business using the tools of entrepreneurship. I've had the privilege of helping families to change the trajectory of their lives by guiding them in starting a small business, everything from hair salons to real estate investing. My promise to you is to help individuals and families become financially independent through entrepreneurship. But first, you gotta stop messing around. Are you just gonna keep watching reruns of Empire or Build One? Are you gonna keep watching Power or claim your own power? I'm from the Chi, and I choose not to get caught up in that drama. If you want your family involved in your business in whichever way you define family, your children will imitate you, period. It doesn't matter if it's past their bedtime. They will pick up your behaviors through adult conversation or worse yet, in the street. Let me share something with you that might be shocking. I remember being a kid, about 8 years old, and my mom would put me to bed at 9 p.m. She thought I was going to sleep. Instead, I had a small flashlight hidden underneath my covers, and I would read for about 90 minutes. Then I would flip my pillow from my headboard to the foot of my bed, crack the bedroom door open just a teeny tiny bit so I could see the kitchen TV. I remember sneaking and watching The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson when adults could still smoke on TV and I could hear grown-up conversations. Here's some old school wisdom for you. Little pitchers have big ears. It's your choice how you spend time with your family. But choose wisely, grasshopper, because you are being watched and imitated. If every man you bring home you sleep with and you think your sons and daughters aren't going to grow up and do the same thing, you are sadly mistaken. And ladies, just because a man takes you out to dinner doesn't mean you have to have sex with him. It had to be a man that created the phrase hit it or quit it. But I won't go there so we can keep this G-rated. So, how do I start my own business? I don't know. Well, that's okay, because honey, I didn't know how to do half the things I'm doing today 10 years ago. You see, part of my professional career included being an HR executive at a major airline. I worked in corporate America for 15 years, coming to work early, staying late, and sacrificing precious time away from my family. My boss called me into his office one day. He said, "Loretta, the company is undergoing a corporate merger, and we have to let one of our top managers go. And it's going to be you." Me? What? I sat there and tears just started streaming down my face. Me, the dedicated employee who showed up for 15 years. Me, the employee who lived and breathed the corporate culture. Me. My boss had just yanked the rug out from underneath my feet, and I was angry. Talk about an angry black woman. Woo-wee. But after I calmed down, it really hit me. I was terrified. I had 3 strikes against me. Number 1, I was literally unemployed with no potential job interviews in sight. 2, I'm graced with age, and companies were hiring millennials straight out of college and give them 1/3 of my 6-figure income salary. But number 3 was the kicker. I thought I was going to have to break a promise to my 2 children in college with out-of-state tuition. Hello, baby. Mama lost her job. So that means you're going to have to come home from college and leave your dreams behind. Now, I don't have time today for the full story, but what I will share with you is that I transitioned into becoming a successful entrepreneur. And I used the tool of real estate investing. When I generated $80,000 net profit on my first real estate deal, results not typical, I never looked back. Moving forward, I've expanded my business as a prominent family entrepreneur expert using my 6P system that I have developed over the years with powerful results. Parents have personally thanked me for transforming generations to come. Here's what I want you to know. 99% of success is built on former failure. In my workshop, I'll reveal the first steps to legitimately start your own business. But first, you gotta stop messing around. You must be willing to take a risk on yourself and create what you want in this world. Write this down. The acronym CREATE stands for the following. C is for creating your why. If you don't know why you want to start your own business and achieve success, when times get rough, you won't have anything to anchor onto. R is for reading books. Most CEOs read a minimum of 100 books per year. If you choose to be a CEO of your own business, then you gotta act like one. E is for excel, and let me be clear, that does not mean perfectionism. It does mean doing the best you have with what you've got. A stands for affirmations. How does our mind know what to believe? By verbally speaking affirmations. This helps strengthen our new beliefs and restructure our thought patterns so we can take action and manifest our dreams. T is for training. You can learn all day long, but if you don't apply what you have learned, it will never come to pass. And E is for experiencing life. Don't squash your dreams. Life is meant to be abundant, experiencing all that the world has to offer. But in order to create, you gotta stop messing around. You gotta what? That's right. Stop messing around. Here are 3 success factors for families and business owners to help you achieve success. Number 1, gratitude. Everything begins with gratitude. It can transform common days into holidays, turn routine jobs into joy, and change ordinary opportunities into blessings. Gratitude is not a challenge, it's a choice. 2, raise your vibrational frequency. It's the difference between action and reaction. Action produces results. It may not be the results you're looking for, but you can adjust and do it again. Reaction usually starts with a trigger and you stay in a negative emotional state, producing no results. There are many ways to raise your vibrational frequency, and dancing to my favorite music is one of them. 3, self-esteem. When you have high self-esteem, you are willing to take calculated risk necessary for an entrepreneur. You don't allow people to place you in false frames, meaning they are defining who you are instead of you defining who you are. Remember, there is a purpose for everyone that you meet. Some people come into your life to test you. Some come into your life to teach you. Some, they come to use you. And then there are some that bring out the very best in you. Don't wait. Take action. Text the keyword START to the number listed below and begin creating the life you've always wanted for yourself and your family. I can guide you to business success as long as you're willing to take the action. It all starts with saying yes to your life, saying yes to the ones that you love, and saying yes to what's possible. Walk with me on this journey, and I will not let you down. Remember, the opposite of fear is not love. The opposite of fear is empowerment. Create your dream business and start taking baby steps today. If you can dream it, you can achieve it.
One week before my birthday, I lost my job due to COVID, and I was completely devastated. I'm a single mom. I had no idea what I was going to do. And I remember just sitting there thinking that I was just lost. I had nothing. I chose marketing because I love being a creative. I love being future thinking, and I absolutely live for strategizing. And marketing is a culmination of all of those things. And so it puts my greatest strengths at the forefront of what I do. I built this business for my son. So I have a legacy that outlasts myself and is something that I can give back to him. And I also do this for all multiracial children around the world so that we don't have to feel like we have to check more than one box or have to be something that fits into the mold that everybody else wants. We are individuals, we are phenomenal, and we deserve the chance to not have to meet what everybody else wants us to be. We just want to be ourselves. Hi, I'm Raylyn Logan, and I'm the founder and owner of Gray Digital Marketing here in Portland, Oregon. For those who decide to work with me, I want them to be able to amplify their business's efforts and grow their business seamlessly through organic strategies utilizing social media. My business gives me the freedom to be able to help children. It is one of my greatest passions in life. And so I take that extra time that I have, that extra money, and I put it forward into the community, whether that's at my son's school with my high school cheerleading team or with the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. Everything I do that I give back to is anchored and centered around giving children a better place to live. Hi. So I just wanted to share a quick story with all of you. And I'm going to take it back into time. Precisely April 3rd, 2020. On April 3rd, 2020, I was working hard at a not so high paying job and crossing my fingers I wasn't going to get laid off due to COVID because I'm a single mom and there weren't a lot of jobs to go around. However, I worked in staffing and womp womp, no jobs to go around means nobody is looking for new candidates. So on April 3rd, 1 week before my 30th birthday, I was let go and I was devastated. I remember I sat on my bedroom floor and I stared at the wall for a good 4 hours before my other half came up and was like, "What's wrong?" Fast forward to a couple weeks later, I'm sitting on the couch watching my little one play, just trying to figure out what I was going to do next. And I decided to open up Gray Digital, a social media and diverse and inclusive marketing consulting agency named after my son, Grayson. So my name is Raylyn. I am the founder of Gray Digital Marketing, and I help entrepreneurs and businesses take the time suck out of social media and turn it into a scroll-stopping moneymaker. And I am so excited to share with you some of my key tips that I use to ensure that businesses are successful and they are moving the needle towards growing their business both in revenue and brand awareness. So to really kick things off, to help you be able to make that switch today in your business, you're going to do the following. We are going to learn how to get our followers off of social. Counterintuitive, I know, but that's step one. We're going to get our followers off of social. We are going to learn how to write copy to our key audience. And we are going to learn how to make sure every post has a call to action. So I'm going to cover again, just in case you were looking down and trying to write notes. We're going to learn how to get your following off of social media. We are going to learn how to write copy to your core audience. And we are going to learn how to write a call to action every time. So step one, how to take your social media following off of social media. You do not own social media, full stop. If Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter were to disappear right now, however many followers you have will be gone. But if you can get your following off of social media and onto your email marketing list, or in some place where they are interacting with you, in a place where you own that list becomes yours. That following becomes yours, and you have better control over how to own your revenue stream. So our goal is to be able to take our following and get them onto an email marketing list and or some other group that you own that is not owned by another entity. One of the very best ways to do this is in your bio, in your header image, in any way where people are immediately seeing your brand. Your goal is to, instead of having a link that just goes to your website or goes to a link tree with lots of options, we are going to work to just get it on a landing page that is a lead magnet to get folks onto your email list. Some of you might be like, well, I have a link tree, so I'll just make it my first one. No, we want a very clear and concise way to get people onto your email list, because a confused mind always says no. So give them one option. By giving them one option, they had two choices subconsciously to say, yes, I'm willing to give you your information because I really want said lead magnet, or no, thank you, I'm not going to fill it out. So give them one option to make the choice between yes and no. Number two is writing copy to your core audience. I'm just here to just like throw a wrench in everything these days, but you're going to write distinctly to two different types of people while writing to one. You want your copy to resonate with those who know you and those who don't. So you have your current following. They know you, they like you, they trust you. And because they know you, like you, and trust you, they probably are following along with everything that you're saying. They know that your dog's name is Coco. They know that your son's name is Gray. They know you. But somebody might not know you and be walking along the imaginary Instagram train and find your page. And when they find your page on this very first post, they need to feel like they're a part of your group too. So when you're writing that copy, we want to be able to give context for those who don't know you and be warm and welcoming to those who do. And so you're going to marry that in your copy. So if I were to talk about my trip to Maui and about the time that I almost puked on a whale, I would start that off with, let me tell you about the time that I almost puked on a whale. This might sound crazy because you know I don't live in Maui, and you're giving context to the other group that they don't know where you live. So saying I don't live in Maui when I have a tropical brand is really telling and giving context. And my regular audience is like, oh, here she goes again with a wild story. So we're going to just continuously keep marrying the fact that The people who don't know you need context, and the people who know you need a story to continue to know, like, and trust you. And then when you're writing that post, and the thing that I see so much lacking from other groups is that there's not a call to action on every single post and a clear call to action. So when I was chatting with you about getting your following off of social media, I made the comment that you want to send them to a landing page where they only have one choice and a subconscious second choice. If you were to scroll through your social right now and read a post that you made, you either did or did not put a call to action. And when I say call to action, I'm not saying come buy this. I'm saying you're asking the audience to take some form of action. So that could be put a heart emoji in the comments if you agree. Share with me your favorite type of coffee. When you went to recess as a little kid, did you prefer Foursquare or did you prefer the monkey bars? Tell me in the comments below. Was this information helpful? Tag me, tag a friend who this might help. Those are all very clear call to actions without saying, hey, buy the new thing that I'm selling. And by doing that, people continue to interact with you, and then you start to show up on their feed because the algorithm recognizes that they take action when looking at your posts. And some of you might be like, oh, I have a call to action, no problem. But you have too many call to actions. Hey, do this, and then do this, then go here and do that. Like I said earlier, a confused mind always says no. We have to guide our audience, and we have to just give them one step at a time, just one, no more, no less. So when we are doing this, we've got to make sure that we're just asking them to make a decision. Do you prefer Foursquare? Or do you prefer the monkey bars? Let me know in the chat. Not, do you prefer Foursquare and the monkey bars? Let me know in the chat, and also make sure you tag a friend, and hey, go to my website, link is in my bio. No. You want them to take one action. And then that one action can lead to something else once they've taken that action. But don't ask them to do more than one thing, because a confused mind always says no. So I really hope that those 3 takeaways are going to be beneficial to you. If you are looking to learn more, meet me in my workshop. I'm really going to break down how to build out your content to turn it into a scroll stopping moneymaker with my own personal make for method, which is going to teach you how to make your posts money making, build awareness, get you killer leads, and use one of the 4 E's: engagement, educational, evergreen, and entertaining. So looking forward to seeing you there, and can't wait to get to know more of you and teach you about how to take the time suck out of social and turn it into a scroll stopping moneymaker. Talk to you soon. This is Raina.
My biggest challenge was trying to find my essence in a toxic marriage that I had been in for 13 years. It was a roller coaster journey of feeling depressed, feeling not confident enough, not good enough, feeling less than. I lost all hope in myself. I stopped believing in myself. I chose my business because I want to awaken young ladies and women to their true essence. I'm on a mission to ensuring that every young lady or woman that crosses my path works in her purpose, embraces her essence, and literally walks in her power. What's important for me is to see the lives of women transformed. What's important for me is to see that women are able to have a balance. They're able to create this balance between their marriage, their career, their personal lives, and at the same time, walk in their essence. Hi, my name is Femi Ayodele. I'm from Maryland, and the name of my business is Your Essence Life Coaching. If you decide to work with me, what I really want for you is your ability to put your life in focus, your ability to create a balance and to create boundaries wherever possible, your ability to stand tall and be able to say, I found my purpose, I'm walking in it, and I have found my power. I intend to make the world a better place, one woman at a time. I believe that if every woman could have a mindset shift to the point where they are able to embrace their uniqueness, embrace their power, embrace their essence, and they are able to flourish and blossom in any capacity that they find themselves. I strongly believe that this woman will be able to share this with their children and influence the world at large. You know what they say, teach a woman, teach the world.
Femi Ayodele says that our essence is our power. And sometimes there's a trap that keeps us from tapping into it. So let's go. Without further ado, let's hear from Femi Ayodele so we can find out what's those traps. We must avoid the traps. I can't wait to hear it. Come on, hit the emojis. Come on, hit the emojis. Call into the sex stage. Femi Ayodele. Let's go.
Hey there. Your essence as a woman lives inside of you. It's not only the most attractive force within you, but it is your life's force. And it's a gift that no one can ever take away from you, except you let them. A lot of times, as women, we lose our essence by letting the story of our lives take over. We forget that we are the main actors in our life story. And this is a classic trap. This is a trap where your job becomes more important than you living, where a relationship overshadows your own needs, where we allow expectations rule our emotions, and we cannot pace life at our own style. This is a trap. I say this because it is my story. It was my story, has been my story. My name is Femi Ayodele. I'm a life coach who is focused on awakening women to their true essence. I want to ensure that every woman that crosses my path embraces her essence, understands who she is, and walks in her power. I do this because I was that woman few years ago who got into a toxic relationship which ended in a toxic marriage, and I ended up losing myself. There were things that I couldn't do or say, places that I couldn't go. I put every other person's needs before mine. I am that woman that would seek solace, refuge in her job, even though it wasn't fulfilling. In addition to all of this, I was walking around in a mask. Wanted people to believe that I had a perfect life when I really didn't. I was dying slowly. I was so unhappy, depressed, so empty and unfulfilled. I was a shadow of myself. And at that point, I knew that I needed a change. I knew that I needed to make a change. I knew that I needed to get myself back. I knew that I needed to have a voice in the scheme of things. Above all, I knew that I needed to be good for myself first before I could be good for any other person. I had to set myself on a journey towards finding me. I'm saying this because a lot of times we lose our essence by allowing the situation to tell our story. Meanwhile, we are supposed to allow our essence tell the story, irrespective of whatever circumstances that we find ourselves in. You are the star in your own movie. Hence, your essence is the power of your presence. Your essence is that power that you carry that touches people wherever you go. Your essence is the heat and light that comes from your burning log. Your power is only as strong as you believe it to be. The way you see yourself is how the world is going to take you. So the first step to take for you to start to live in your essence and embrace your power is you first need to ask yourself, what do I love about myself? Do I really love myself? What are those things that I love about myself? I found myself in a team building exercise, and the question was asked, what do you love about yourself? List 10 or 15 things that you love about yourself. I couldn't. At that point, I knew that there was trouble. I had to begin to write my affirmations and begin to say these things to myself. Another question that you need to ask yourself is, what makes you unique? What makes you different? In as much as situations will make you want to hide and fit in and blend in and hide yourself, your true self cannot be hidden. You are a wonderful woman with several wonderful qualities. There will never be any woman like you. Your habits, your idiosyncrasies, your values, your experiences, these are the things that make you unique. Are you able to articulate them and say, these are the things that make me unique? Another question we need to ask ourselves is, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Your strengths are those skills of yours that are supported by experience. What are those things that you are good at, that they naturally come to you? Some common strengths that we have as women is attention to detail, ability to be resilient, the ability to nurture, patience, the ability to be calm under pressure and all of that. However, there are some individual traits that you have that are unique to you. They are your own unique set of strengths. And your weakness are those things that you're not good at, and they sap your energy. If you can identify those. Now, I would not say you should waste your energy on your weakness, but work on it to the point where it doesn't rub off on your strengths. Another question that I began to ask myself was, what and who inspires me? When I was able to answer those questions, then I was able to understand where my interests lie. What motivates me? What sets me on fire? What gives me the passion? What keeps me burning? Having done that, another thing that you need to ask yourself is, how do I want to be remembered? Maya Angelou said, people will never forget how you made them feel. They can forget what you said to them, but they will never forget how you make them feel. How you made them feel is the legacy that you leave behind. How do you want people to remember you? Do you want people to remember you as the praying mother? Do you want them to remember you as the woman that does not stand for injustice? Do you want them to remember you as the woman that has strong moral values? Do you want them to remember you as a businesswoman, as a high-ranking professional? What do you want them to remember you for? Do you want to be remembered as that woman that takes good care of herself and has a high level of self-love. Whatever you want to be remembered as will help you craft your essence. It will help you craft how you walk in life. It will determine the things that you decide to do. So it's one thing for you to have passion for something. It is another thing to say, okay, I have a passion for this thing. It makes me curious. I have a passion for it. What vehicle can I use to move it forward? And if I'm moving it forward, how do I want to be remembered? In that way, you have been able to actually find your essence, embrace it, and walk in your power. So what I would like for you to take away from here is, number one, your essence is the power of your presence. Number two, the first step to living a powerful life is understanding your essence. Without that, you might live life, but you might not live it with your life's force, with your power in it. And number three is embrace your essence and walk in your power. So with that, I say thank you for listening. Woman, put your life in focus. Have a good day. Bye.
If you could do right by your family, to live in the best neighborhoods, to have access to the best schools with quality education, to travel both domestic and internationally with your family. Well, guess what? It's totally possible through business ownership. Welcome, everybody. My name is Loretta Wetzel, also known as Mama Soul Wisdom, where I share old school wisdom for a new generation. I am passionate about families and entrepreneurship. Why? Because it is the only way to gain a competitive edge in life for yourself and your family. I am on a mission to impact 500,000 individuals and families to monetize their own unique gifts and start a business. As a prominent family entrepreneur expert, I've had the privilege of helping families start their own business, everything from hair salons to real estate investing. My promise to you is to help individuals and families become financially independent through entrepreneurship. You see, business and entrepreneurship helps to develop multiple streams of income, and that eventually points toward passive income for true wealth. Now, if you enjoyed my keynote speech, then you know you gotta stop messing around. Are you going to keep watching reruns of Empire or build your own? Are you going to keep watching Power or claim what's rightfully yours? So, how do you start your own business? I will reveal the necessary steps you must take when starting your own business. Be sure to download the workbook associated with this training first, and then follow along. We must review, and first it all starts with mindset. Now, during my keynote speech, we talked about the following. Mindset. And the ability to create. This is important, okay? because you must believe that you are powerful and unstoppable beyond imagination. Now, how do you do that? You must be willing to take a risk on yourself and create what you want in this world. So I want you to write this down in your workbook. C stands for creating your why. Create your why. Why are you doing this? Why do you want to start your own business? It's an important and critical question. What would it take to build a living legacy for yourself and your family? Why do you want to start your own business? To become financially independent? Be honest with yourself. Choose this for yourself and nobody else. Why? Because when times get rough, and they will because that's life, you must anchor on to your why. Oftentimes, you focus on the how or the doing, the running the business. That's great, but if you're busy doing, and you don't really understand why you're doing it, you're going to improve your chances to fail. So there's some action steps associated with this letter C. In your workbook, I want you to write 3 reasons. 3, why you want to start and expand your business. Three reasons why. The next is R. R for read books. Okay, some of my favorite books are The 4 Agreements by Don Luis Miguel, The New Psychology of Winning by Dennis Waitley, Loving What Is by Byron Katie. Let's see what else. The Noticer by Andy Andrews. Let's see what else. Profit First by Mike Michalowicz. These are just some of my favorite books. Now, they're mindset books, they're business books, and they're spiritual books. But all of them are personal development books. So here's your action step. I want you to pick the 2 type of books that you want to start reading. Why? Because CEOs of businesses, they read at least a minimum of 100 books per year. So if you want to run your own business and be the CEO, then you got to act like one. So I want you to pick 2 types of books. It could be spiritual and business. It could be mindset and spiritual, or mindset and business. But I want you to post some of your favorite books in my Mama Soul Wisdom Facebook group, and I'll also share some of my favorite books, and then you can let me know how you enjoyed reading them. Great. So, action step, 2 types of books to read. What's next? E is for excel. Excel in being the best, not perfectionism. Doing the best with what you have and getting what you need to get done. Here's a dirty little secret. Perfectionism kills. You are secretly telling yourself that you're not good enough, so you always are striving to make it perfect. It's not necessary. Stop messing around. So here's your action step. I want you to write down 3 things that you are good at. And it doesn't matter what it is. It could be cooking. You might start a catering business. It could be cleaning. It could be voice talent for voiceovers. It could be social media. It could be makeup, arts and crafts, writing, organization, whatever it is you're good at doing. I want you to write 3 things down that you are good at. And then I want you to consider turning what you're good at into a business. Okay, the A is for affirmations. This is critical. You know why? Here's a question for you. How does our mind know what to believe? Great question, isn't it? Well, here's a secret. By verbally speaking affirmations. This helps to strengthen our beliefs and structure our thoughts so we can take action and manifest our dreams. Affirmations are critically important. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to write 3 affirmations in your workbook beginning with the words I am or I. You can do it. So, for example, I am powerful. I am smart. I am beautiful. I am unstoppable. I love my life. These are just some examples of affirmations. Write them down. You must tell yourself every single day your affirmations. It is critically important. Now, if you want to see some of my favorite affirmations, you can go to my website. So it's www.mamasoulwisdom.com/free-downloads. If you click on the 2-word secret, you will see my list of daily affirmations that I use, and it just lights me up. Your affirmations should also light you up. All right, let's go with the T next. There we go. T is for training. Has anybody ever seen the movie The Karate Kid? Mr. Miyagi agrees to teach Daniel's son karate. Their agreement was, I teach, you do. When Mr. Miyagi asked him to do various chores around the house, including wax the car, paint the fence, sand the floors, Daniel's son thought he was being taken advantage of for free labor. But he was really in training for foundational karate moves. Until you train with what you know, the full manifestation of what that knowledge is supposed to be and do in your life will never show up. Action step. List one activity to train your mind, to train your body, and one to train your spirit or your soul. So, action, one activity, train your mind. One activity, train your body. One activity, spiritual. Training your mind could look like meditation. Body could look like physical exercise, walking around the block or going to the gym. Spiritual could be prayer. You choose the 3 activities, but it is critical because your mind, body, and spirit must be in alignment. Alignment. And then the last letter in create is experiencing life. You gotta experience life, people. Life. Don't squash your dreams. Life is meant to be abundant with mindset first and then experiencing all that the world has to offer. So oftentimes we don't take a moment to pause and say, oh wow, I've always wanted to fill in the blank. So that's your activity step. List 3 things you've always wanted to do. It could be going to New York for a Broadway play. It could be traveling to Beijing to walk the Great Wall of China. Whatever it is, maybe it's taking your family to Disney World. Whatever it is that you've always wanted to do, I want you to list 3 things. I've always wanted to do. And you know how life gets in the way, right? I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, it's never the right time, this. Stop. Put it in the universe. 3 things you've always wanted to do. And there you have create. Create your life. Now, as a prominent family entrepreneur expert, I want you to understand that 99% of success is built on former failure. So you must be willing to keep creating, to keep taking those action steps over and over and over again. And I want you to do it in the context of 3 success factors. So here are 3 success factors for families and business to keep you in action. There we go. 3 success factors. Number 1 in success factor that is so critically important. You want to know what it is? Gratitude. Everything starts with gratitude. It can transform common days into holidays. It can take routine jobs and turn it into joy. It can take ordinary opportunities and change into extraordinary blessings. Gratitude is not a challenge. It's a choice. So here's your action step. Start a gratitude journal. Everything starts with gratitude. I want you to start a 30-day gratitude journal. So here's the specifics on that. List 10 things daily that you are grateful for 30 days straight. No skipping. Now, you are not allowed to list what you've listed before previously in the past days. At the end of this experiment, I want you to post what your experience was like in my Mama Soul Wisdom Facebook group. Post your comments. The first week or so, pretty easy. 10 things daily. But you begin to write out, like, oh, I said that before. I can't write it down. I got to pick something new. It will take your gratitude, appreciation, and thankfulness to a new level. Now, step number 2, raise your vibrational frequency. Got to do it. All right. So this is 1. Here's 2. Raise your frequency. It's your energy. Raise your frequency. You cannot create your business from a low vibrational frequency. If you want your business to grow and thrive, you attract the people and the resources that you need to do business, you got to keep your energy up. Now, you're not required to bounce off the walls, but you do need to vibrate at a high level because it is the difference between action and reaction. Action produces results. It may not be the results that you're looking for, but you can adjust and tweak and do it again. Reaction usually involves a trigger. That means you're stuck in a negative emotional state, producing no results. Now, what are ways in which you can raise your vibrational frequency? Deep breathing. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Whenever you get in a panic in the middle of the day or you're just not feeling your best, pause, take a moment, and take 10 deep breaths. And that will help reset your nervous system so that you can create in a high vibrational energy. Here's another one of my favorites. Dancing. You could do that. You could do exercising, meditation, journaling. They're just some of the few ways that you can raise your vibrational frequency. Also, during meditation, light a candle if that helps you to focus. So what are your action steps? List 3 ways you can raise your vibrational frequency on a daily basis. And I want you to start this in the mornings. 3 activities. And 30 minutes max. It will require you to get up a little earlier in the morning. It's okay. Now, if you can't start off with 30 minutes, start off with 10 and work your way up to 30. But the key is you must build this muscle of raising your vibrational frequency in the morning, so when you run out of energy sometimes mid-afternoon, you know what to do to snap back. 3, build your self-esteem. Okay? Self-esteem is having respect and a favorable opinion of yourself and also your abilities. Now, don't allow other people to place you in false frames. What do I mean by that? That means other people are defining who you are instead of you defining who you are. Self-esteem is critical. You must love and appreciate who you are in this world and what it is that you have to offer. So what's your action steps? Well, instead of watching the movie 10 Things I Hate About You, how about if we list 5 things that you like about yourself and how these attributes can be used in business? You can do it. 5 things you like about yourself. Now that the recap is done with the create, now that the recap is done with those 3 success factors, let's get down to business and reveal some of the necessary steps when you want to start your own business. You ready? Okay. Let's get this going here. Starting your business. Step 1. Step number 1, set your goals. Determine whether starting your own business is going to look like starting it from home and starting a home online business, or whether or not you want to do brick and mortar. Having your own business has its own unique challenges, so you better be clear on your big picture goals. Part of that is preparation, okay, and understanding before you start your business to make sure you have enough reserves in the bank to prepare your friends and your loved ones that you might be tied up for the next 6 months or a year because you're starting your own business. That's part of your preparation. But when it comes to setting goals, they will help you to focus when things don't go quite like you expect them to. So what are some big picture goals? You want to work on your own terms. Maybe you need flexibility to be with your family. Whatever your big picture goals are, here's your action steps. I want you to list 3 big picture goals for starting or expanding your own business, and I want you to attach a feeling to those goals. Goals. 3 big picture goals plus feeling. Why do I want you to attach a feeling to it? Because feelings anchor in beliefs. So just don't write down any old thing. Write down a big picture goal that has meaning to it, has emotion and feelings attached to it so that you can anchor it in. Step number 2, you gotta look like a business. Look like a business. You know what? You can't just say you're in business. You got to look like a business. Now, here are a few tasks for you to complete. Number one, you want to create a customized URL. It's a link for your business. Too many people have great business ideas, but they never really actually start a business. You can't have a business without having a link or a customized URL because you need it for your website. You need it for marketing materials. You want to be able to attract your target customers. Now, GoDaddy is a common service that you can use to go and get your customized URL link. But there are other vendors. You pick out the one that works best for you. Customized URL. Okay, what else do you need to do? You got to create a business email address. I like to party 24/7@gmail.com. That's not going to work. Or hotpan66@hotmail. That's not going to work. You want to be able to create a business email address, because otherwise sometimes your personal emails are inappropriate for doing business. Now, usually individuals will often use their business name at gmail.com, and that's perfectly acceptable. However, if you have flexibility in your budget, consider securing a business email which looks like your name at bcs.com or whatever the name of your business is. So sometimes it's a small monthly fee, but it looks professional if you have a business email address. Business email. The next, business phone number. Need a business phone number. There is nothing worse or unprofessional than answering a phone and you're yelling at your kids in the background or whatever is going on. But if you only have one phone, then how do you know when it's an incoming business call? Well, there are various apps that you can choose from to secure an additional phone number that can be used for business only at minimum cost. You can use Google Voice, no cost, Ring Central, Magic Jack. Those are just some of the few of the apps. But if you choose to use Google Voice, make sure you remove the announcement message. We will now contact the Google subscriber. You know what? That screams amateur rather than professional. Next task, form a business entity. You got to form a business entity, and this is a big one that most people miss. Now, can you start your own business without incorporating? Yes, you can. It's called being a sole proprietor. Do I recommend that you start your own business without forming a formal entity? I don't recommend it. Creating an entity such as a sub-S corporation or an LLC for your business is critical for additional benefits. And here's the misperception. Most people think that you must form those corporations in Nevada or Delaware. Not true, people. That's for major C corporations. You must form your business entity in the state in which you're doing business in. Now, this will provide your business for many, many benefits. For sub-S corporation, first of all, you're going to pay significantly less in taxes by eliminating the self-employment tax. You can also start your business seasoning And when you are applying for business credit in the future, they're going to want to know how long you've been in business. So you might as well start your formal entity now. It can also reduce the possibility of you receiving an audit notice from the IRS. That's just some of the few of the benefits by incorporating as a sub S. Now, let me provide the disclaimer. I am not an accountant or a financial advisor, but I'm here to tell you, being in business for myself for over 10 years, my business partner over 40 years, this is what you want to do. So I want you to write this down. Go to pgwetzel.com to set up an appointment. The consultation is at no cost. You can have a conversation and say, I would like to set up a business entity. Can you support me? Now, the consultation is no cost, but to set up the business entity itself for incorporation, there is a fee, but the prices are reasonable. So I want you to write this down and go to pgwetzel.com. pgwetzel.com. Go to the website to set up the appointment. And if you mention BlackCEO22, you will receive a 15% discount. Next task, open a business banking account. Banking account. Now that you have a formal business entity, you have the necessary paperwork to take that to the bank and open up a business account so you can keep your personal income and expenses separate from your business income and expenses. This is critical for filing your taxes with the IRS and taking advantage of those business tax write-offs. Step number 3, set up your financials. Let me flip to another page here. Set up financials. This is a critical step, and it is important to keep it simple. Sometimes people freak out when it comes to numbers. Now, there's a lot to do in this area, but we're only going to cover 2 action steps today. Number 1, you want to set up a budget. And here's the key word. Simple. Keep it simple. What does that mean? Income and expenses. That's it. That's all I want you to identify. Now, there are several software programs that can help you with budget tracking. You can consider free or low-cost options. You can have Mint. You can have QuickBooks Desktop Pro. But whatever it is, make sure you take advantage of any free trials before you invest. You want to be able to keep it simple. Now, you must also track your expenses. Track. Track. This is the biggest mistake most entrepreneurs make because they don't want to track. You must track and then prioritize your expenses. I don't care if you take a 59-cent spiral notebook to track your expenses. It's better to use Excel, but whatever works best for you. But you must be able to track your expenses So when your money comes in and you know where it is going out so you can adjust. Really, basically, when starting out in business, you don't need a whole lot of fancy tools. You basically, for an online business, need three things. You need a laptop with strong internet. You need a mobile phone with good mobile phone service and access to transportation for networking and meeting clients when necessary. That's it for an online business. Now, there are many more steps when you first start a business, and I really don't have time today to share all of them. But if you choose to work with me, I will support you to the finish line, baby. Remember, there's a purpose for everyone that you meet. Some people come into your life to test you. Some people come into your life to teach you. Some come to use you. And then there are some who bring out the very best in you. I want you to take action. Thank you, Siri. I want you to take action. Don't wait. I can guide you to business success as long as you take the action and say yes right now. Sign up for my 5-day challenge, Prep Your Life, Prep Your Business. And each day, I will provide you with simple tasks you can accomplish to begin building your business, achieve your dreams, and come out a winner. Go to my webpage with BlackCEO22 and sign up for this no-cost challenge. It's a fun way to see whether or not you have the chops to start your own business and succeed. Now, the 5-day challenge will start soon after the conference. So pay attention, sign up, and I will see you on the other side. Remember, the opposite of fear is not love. The opposite of fear is empowerment. Create your dream business and start taking those baby steps today. If you can dream it, you can achieve it. My name is Loretta Wetzel, also known as Mama Soul Wisdom, sharing old school wisdom for a new generation. I'll see you soon.
Welcome to the workshop. I am so excited to get started. I'm going to give you just a quick second to grab your notebook, grab a writing utensil, and we are going to jump right into this on turning your social media into a scroll-stopping moneymaker with my Make 4 method. So, here we go. So welcome to turning your social media into a scroll-stopping moneymaker so you can stop worrying about social media sucking the time out of your business. So 4.8 million people around the world actively use social media. If you even had 1% of that number, what would it do to your business or mission? That would be 48,000 followers. And you would get a little check mark on Instagram. And if we're following the organic rule of 10%, meaning that only 10% of your audience is going to see what you post for each given post, this would mean 48,000 people would see each individual post. 480 people would take action on that post, and 48 people would connect to see how to work with you, all on each individual post. That could be game changing, because if we do some math and let's say you post 5 times a week, if 5 times a week times 48, you would have 240 customers reaching out asking how to work with you. And that is going to be the power of social media. So I want to know, do you believe the following about being successful on social media? Go ahead, raise your hand. Do you believe that you have to post every single day? Do you believe that you have to have a large following? Do you believe that you have to crack the algorithm in order to get any of your posts seen? Do you have to spend too much time on social media just to warrant some results? And do you believe you have to be on all social channels? Well, knowing that there's tons of hands in the air, let's go ahead and let's shift our mindset for a split second and say this out loud with me. I get the opportunity to post every single day. I get to grow a large following that trusts me. I get to spend time with an engaged audience that wants to hear from me. And I get to be on the channels where I can best serve my audience. So think about that. You get to be where you can best serve your audience. You don't have to be everywhere. If you weren't made to TikTok, don't TikTok. If you weren't made to YouTube, don't YouTube. If you weren't made to tweet, don't tweet. Be where it's comfortable for you and where your audience is. So our goal here today is to be able to take what you learn and start using it immediately. By the end of this workshop, you'll be treating your business social media like stop treating your business social media like it's for your mom and start treating it like the money maker that it is. So today we're going to understand the Make For method. We're going to brainstorm content together to take the social anxiety out of social media. And I'm going to teach you how to put both of those things together to make a seamless and easy planning process that takes no time at all. So, hey there, I'm Raylan Logan, owner and founder of Gray Digital Marketing. And I did not start business in a traditional sense. I started it on the floor crying 1 week before my birthday. My 30th birthday landed during the pandemic because I am born in April, and I lost my job, and I am the only caretaker for my son, Grayson. So one day I was scrolling through the gram, looked at my beautiful baby boy and said, looks like I'm going to teach people how to use social media. Went out into the world, put my fashion marketing degree to the test and my knowledge of social. And the world kept spinning. George Floyd was murdered. I became that go-to expert for diversity and inclusive marketing, and the rest is history. So since that time, I have become an award-winning marketer, being listed as one of the top 50 Black marketers according to the African American Marketing Association, alongside names such as Bazoma St. John, who is the CMO for Netflix. Within my 10 plus years of experience within sales and marketing, I have noticed that there's just an opportunity to do better with a diverse and equitable lens. So within the last 5 years, I've been focusing on making that change. I have been speaking about my experiences and ways organizations can improve their marketing efforts on podcasts, panels, and conferences such as Sales Fuel, Business Over Beers, and nationally for the American Marketing Association. I'm very involved in my community. I coach cheer, I mentor for Parachute Media, Portland Prosper, and PI, the Portland Incubator Experiment, and I volunteer with the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation. So if you want to grow your revenue 5 times faster and reach out to a diverse audience, I am your go-to expert, and I will help you generate business doing so with an equitable and diverse lens. So what I'm going to share with you today is going to blow your mind. And I'm going to start that by saying content is not king. And I'm sure some of you are sitting there being like, what? The social media expert is saying content is not king. No, it's not. Conversion is king. And our goal is to say hello to the money, because if your business is not generating money, it's not a business. It's a hobby. So we want to be able to take those posts and get them to work best for you. And that's what we're going to work on here today. So welcome to the Make For method. This is my proprietary method on how I put together content to best create a sales funnel within my social media and turn it into the scroll stopping moneymaker that it is. I'm tongue-tied today. So M stands for money making. 10% of your posts over a given time should be money making. And 40% of your posts should be building brand awareness. So that leaves us with 15% of your posts to actively be generating leads. And so we have the K stands for killer leads, meaning those are people we want to interact with, we want to do business with. They're not giving us a headache. They are actively giving to us and we're actively giving back. And then we want to look at our 4 E's. And these are so important to this, especially as it pertains to social media. So 35% of your posts should be one of the following E's: engaging, entertaining, educational, or evergreen, meaning no matter what time of year it is, it still holds weight and is strong for your audience day in, day out, 24/7, 365 days a year. So let's learn how to use these to best work for our social media. So I start with money making. Even though it's the smallest percentage of what you're going to be doing on social, we start with money making because that's the number one thing that is on your mind. And it is our end goal that we have in sight, is to generate revenue for our business. And as we're doing that, we want to make sure that that ask is still engaging, it's entertaining, it's pulling in our audience to make that happen. So we're going to start with our end game in sight. And I'm going to go through 3 different versions of this, depending on if you are a coach, depending on if you own a product that you are selling, or if you are a service provider. So after this, you can definitely use this information for one of your posts as you're going along and be able to just take this copy, it's yours, and see what kind of generation you get with it. So as we go along and these next 4 steps of the Make For method, I'm going to be giving key examples in all 3 of these areas. So if you are a coach, and play pretend with me here for a moment, is you could say, you could write this copy with a photo that says, there are no guarantees in life except ... Okay, so as your coach, I can't guarantee that you're going to get a Maserati tomorrow. But with my signature coaching program, the Make For method, I can guarantee a few things like you will start getting DMs in your inbox asking how to work with you. I can guarantee that you're going to get a sale once a month. I can guarantee that people are going to look to you as the go-to expert in your field. Are you ready for a little bit more of me in your life? I'm offering free one-on-one calls with potential clients for the next 3 days. Send me a direct message and let's chat. So what's really great about that is it is engaging. It's sharing and teaching folks exactly what it is and what you do. And it has a call to action. And our goal is to get them off of social media. So by saying DM me so we can book a call allows me to better convert that person into being a potential client in the future and is going straight for the money. Let's try product. And just so you know, I'm making up some of these on the spot. So bear with me. Some of our products might get pretty hilarious as we move through because I don't sell products naturally. Soap classes in session. That's right. Today we're sharing a step-by-step demo of how to use soap. So we hope to answer any little questions you might have. Soap is our most popular. So if you haven't snagged it yet, hopefully this demo will inspire you. Ready? Here's a step-by-step tutorial on how to use soap. First, you're going to squirt a little bit of it in your hands. Then you're going to turn on your sink water and put your hands underneath and start rubbing them together. Then we're going to get it nice and bubbly and rinse it until there is no more bubbles. Then we're going to turn off the water, dry our hands. What do you want one for yourself? Send me a DM and I'll get that direct product link to you. I hope everybody has soap. But as you can see, I'm giving a way to show how you use that product in your daily life. And sometimes seeing things in action is all anybody needs to be like, ooh, I might need that. That solves a problem for me or gives into a want or desire. And by saying, hey, if you DM me, I'll give you the direct link so you don't have to go looking for it, even better. We shortened the gap on what it took to get to that product. So again, we're getting folks by DMing, by getting people to slide into your DMs, they are giving you permission to pitch to them, and you are able to easily send links, and you are able to easily get them off of social media and into the networks that you control. So very, very important. We have a very clear and concise call to action, asking them to just do one thing. So if you heard my keynote, it is really important that that call to action is asking your audience to take one action and do one thing. So let's move on to services. There's many service providers here, marketers, agencies, virtual assistants, and services are really, really important to what we do as business owners. So let's talk about if you are a service owner. Intimacy can be scary. I'll be the first to admit that. However, when it comes to making my clients happy, I want to know, will we be working together closely? How close? Well, there will be no need to change our relationship status on Facebook. But here, all of the ways we'll be in touch over time working together. So we will have one-on-ones monthly. I will be available for you via Voxer so we can voice chat at any time. And if you need a more group environment, you are also welcome to participate in our Facebook group. Does that sound like your dream setup? I hope so. Send me a DM today and let's see if we're a perfect fit for each other. So what's great about this is it has a really funny hook. And when you're scrolling through your Instagram, you can only see about the first sentence before somebody has to click on more. So when I even said intimacy can be scary, I was like, where in the world is this going? But to talk about the relationship that you have with your clients is really important because it is a more personal relationship when you're giving services. And that is something we have to be mindful of. So get to the crux of the problem quickly, even if it's with humor, it's entertaining. And that is what puts us in one of our 4E categories, is that is entertaining. It's also educational for somebody who's learning how to work with a new service provider. So keeping that in mind, that is just an incredible way to have fun and meet the needs of what people are looking for on social, while also giving a very clear, hey, I'm available to work with right now. Am I a good fit for you? So that's money making, but that's only 10% of what you're doing when posting on social media. So let's talk about awareness. Building brand awareness is the best thing we can do for ourselves and our business. Full stop, period. The saying, if I built it, they will come, only works if they were aware that you did it in the first place. And a lot of times, especially on the internet, we don't know. Until you have built up your Google My Business and you've built up your SEO, you're probably on page 400 for Google searches on the best soap product. And that's the harsh, cold reality. But you have to build it and you have to yell it from a mountaintop. That's just the way this works. So as we're looking at that, let's start with product, on what it looks like to create a post that has copy that's truly building awareness for your industry. So we might not use soap this time, but let's see what I come up with today. It's always the best of both worlds when you can support a small business by purchasing our Save the World t-shirt and support a wonderful nonprofit organization at the same time. The Save the World t-shirt is back in stock for a limited time, and you can only get it by pre-ordering before Friday. And when you purchase the Save the World t-shirt today, a portion of the proceeds goes to Save the Turtles Association to help find a way to get more garbage out of our oceans and save the turtles and all the other wonderful sea life that there is, so that our children and our children's children have fresh water and a world that they can be proud of. So I'm pretty sure Save the Turtles Association doesn't exist, but when you're doing this and you're tagging someone else, what is so important about that is they're probably going to be over the moon that you are doing something great for them. So they want to further help themselves by getting more people to come buy that Save the World t-shirt from you. And let's say Save the Turtles Association has a 1.5 million following, and you only have 1,500. By Save the Turtles going out and sharing that with their audience, they have a greater chance of 15,000 people seeing it. And then add on the 150 that you have a chance of seeing it. We now have a larger reach of 15,150 people who may potentially go and look at your shirt. And so if we say 15,150 people times 10%, that means your following of 1,515 people are going to take action to check out that shirt. And if we're still following that rule of 10%, that means 151 people are going to purchase, most likely, best case scenario. So we're leaning, when creating brand awareness, we're trying to lean on other networks to further our network by building those relationships and making sure we're adding value to somebody else while still adding value to ourselves and our brand. Moving into service, you can also do this by looking at other content creators or people who are in your niche that are just a few more steps ahead in their journey than you are right now. So be very, very strategic about this. But for videos that suck me in, I don't scroll my Instagram feed often, but when I do, I always get sucked in by the video content from these 4 accounts, specifically Reels. Check out these 4 accounts and their amazing Reels. List 4 folks that you are following right now who are doing great things and ask, whose Reels are you enjoying these days? And see what pops up in your comments, because whoever your audience is following, you probably want to know what they're doing too. So it's a great way to get to know your competition and build more community, not only amongst your followers, but also with your friends who are doing the same thing. Always good to support one another. And then last but not least, and a great segue brought to you from the service section, is the coach section. So community over competition. I'm a coach, and yep, I have friends who are coaches too. I'm not worried about sharing how wonderful they are because we all bring different gifts to the table. Take Marcus, for example, who's fantastic at talking about social justice as it pertains to diversity, equity, and inclusion. Or take in Ciara, who is a magician at creating a pre-game strategy for how to start and run your business operations while looking at it with a diverse lens. Please head to their profiles and show them a little love too. You won't regret it. So this is sending people over to them. So they're getting more followers, they're getting more added value, and you're putting a little bit more good out to the world, and they're most likely going to return the favor. So the key takeaways from brand awareness are: utilize the networks of others to start your word of mouth. It is so important. There is nothing wrong about getting who is considered your competition and your community to share what you're doing, because they might say it one way and you might say it another, but you resonate with different people. And that is so important. So get it out there and get social and social media, because that is what's going to build your brand awareness. Killer leads. The best thing about this is I just needed a word that started with the letter K. So MAKE was a true acronym, but let's get down to it. Everyone loves a lead that actually brings in the money. Finding qualified leads can also be really hard, but you can do so by passively using the copy I have for you below. So let's kick it off with service this time. What's in a word? Recently, I asked my current and past clients to describe me and my services in one word. And here are the top 5 common words I got back. I got back relaxed. I got back vibes. I also got back bold and funny and easygoing. If these words describe the kind of service provider you'd like to work with, don't hesitate to book a call with me today. So this is just people, it's like very vague on how they're going to book a call with me. But if this person were to take action and click on the contact button on my Instagram, if they were to pop it in the comments, or if they were to DM me, I could just send them the link to book a call. And I can get them onto my email list quickly and start telling and sharing why they should know, like, and trust me. Looking at it from a coaching lens, the struggle is real. As a coach, I keep things private between my clients and I, of course. But lately I've noticed a few similar themes pop up between my various clients. Here are the top 3 things I see my clients with struggling right now. If I take this action, is it going to be performative? How do I know I'm going to get results from this action? And I'm scared. What are others going to think of me? Are you working through one of those challenges right now? Send me a private message and let's get you out of this hump. So this is just inviting somebody to say, let's have a dialogue. Let's talk about it. I'm not saying that I'm going to charge you anything. I'm not saying any of that. I'm just saying, hey, welcome to my circle. Let's do this. Again, if you have that private conversation with them in your DMs, that's allowing you to build that know, like, trust factor. That is so core to your business, especially if you are a coach. And it's giving you that lead that you can ask and say, hey, I hope this was helpful. Was that helpful for you? Do I have your permission to share with you how we can work together further? Simple, easy, to the point, but it allows you that ability to start having that dialogue. And then last one, best one, product. Can you spare a square? No one likes running out of their favorite product, let alone toilet paper. The good news, we can make sure that you never run out of your fave again. All you have to do is comment "spare me" below, and we'll send a link to get on our mailing list so you never have to be without again. Go on, give it a try. We'll see you in the comments. So this is just asking people to just do something to be reminded of when a product comes into play. So if you're a retailer and you have a go-to cami, if you're a women's retailer and you always have it in nude, black, and white, and we know there's still always going to be there, and then we have a pop of color. So in the month of March, it's going to be green, hot pink, and pale blue, because we're moving into full-blown spring. And there's some people who they swear by this cami, they wear it under all of their clothes, and they collect those pops of color. And sometimes they also need to be reminded that it's time to switch out that white because it's no longer white. So getting them on your mailing list for their favorite item and sending those like monthly seasonal reminders saying, hey, meet the new color of the season. Have you replaced your black one yet? Has it faded out? Is going to be so important to your business. And again, like I said in the keynote, it takes them off of social media and into your network that you own, because you don't own social media. And it's really important to use this as a tool to funnel your business. And your business isn't on social media. Your business is with you. This is just a tool to get people moving in the right direction, and that right direction is you. Now let's move on to the 4 E's of the Make 4 method. So our 4 E's are engagement, educational, entertaining, and evergreen. The best part of social media are these 4 things. People go to social media to see what a company and brand does. And so we'll stick through there and we'll look at products and we'll do these things and we'll see if they're the things that last forever and be evergreen. We sometimes just scroll through it to be entertained because we have nothing better to do. And so I don't know about all of you, but I died laughing over that gentleman skateboarding with a cranberry juice. Like, why? That man now makes millions helping out Ocean Spray. Educational. I have learned a lot, even from my other fellow peers on social media, just because of great quick reels that are like, do this, don't do this. Do this, don't do this. And it's engaging. In the time of COVID, in this pandemic, we haven't been able to see lots of people depending on where you live in the nation. I live in a very rule following state. And so I spent most of my time in lockdown for the past 2 years. And I'm grateful for that. But at the same time, somebody as outgoing as I am needs the ability to engage with others. And so engagement on social media has been a huge factor for me. And I've made so many friends across the nation because of it. So we're going to circle it back to our coach frame of mind. And we're going to start there. And what I only did in this one is, because there's only 3 sections, I felt it was only fair to do just 1 E. And we're going to stick to engagement for today. So, coach, ever fake it? There's a term thrown around quite a bit, imposter syndrome. The way I define it is not feeling confident in myself or not being able to give enough to my audience to feel like they're getting enough back. And that's scary for me. But the good news is I've found that there are 3 things you can do to help yourself overcome the feeling of being an imposter. 1, you can create a praise page where you just copy and paste all of the nice things people have ever said about you and read it when things are hard. 2, you can create a badass list where you just write down all the things that you've accomplished that have gotten you to where you are now. And so when you're having a tough day, you're just going to go back and read that. And 3 is to look in the mirror every single day and tell myself that I am awesome and high five. So save this post by tapping the flag icon for the next time you're feeling like an imposter. So the fun, quirky thing called the algorithm that we're all so scared of really enjoys it when posts are being saved because it tells people that they really do value that content. And every single time you have a post that's getting great engagement, like people are in the comments, people are sharing it, people are saving it, the algorithm recognizes you as somebody that people want to engage with and hang out with on social media. And that's what continues to bump up your posts. We're not going to talk about that today, but that's just a little bit of an insight on how the algorithm works. Moving right along to product. Product, recycling, upcycling, and repurposing. What's the deal? These aren't just trends, but actual ways that you can get your wrap-up cardigan to live on long after you first purchased it. Have you ever considered how you might be able to repurpose one of our products? Here's a fun idea for you. Take your cardigan and wrap it around twice. Grab a really cool belt that you've saved from the early 2000s, pop it on, and throw on a pair of skinny jeans and your favorite thigh-high boots. And voila, you're ready for fall. Let us know in the comment, have you tried something like this before? So telling folks how they can get more use out of what you are selling is instrumental, especially as we go into an age of being more of a minimalist, as many of us are looking to saving our environment, as we go into an age of inflation and we're just trying to stretch it. A lot of us had to feel that pain at the beginning of 2020. And so we've learned over time to just get what we can reuse and repurpose. And as we're still facing supply chain issues, and you're somebody who sells a product, you're probably going to want that to stretch for a while. And then last one, best one, and our last one before we switch gears is service. Where's Waldo Office Edition? Here's a snap of my current workplace. Yes, where all the magic happens. Some of my clients are surprised to see how messy, and I mean it, messy it is. Take a look at all my gadgets and gizmos. Am I missing anything? I mean, I have a cheer bell. I have lipstick. I've got a very fancy mirror, in case you need one. Probably blinded somebody with that one. And about 15 ring lights. So am I missing anything? Only time will tell. I'm definitely not going to give anybody a snapshot of the mess back here, but it's a great way to make you seem human. And that's something that as you grow on social media, people seem to disconnect from and need to be reminded that once upon a time, you were just like them and started out with 0 followers. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with humanizing yourself because it's what people need. People connect with people, not businesses, not items. People connect with people. And that's how you become a really great salesperson, is if you can get to understand the people that you serve. So let me know, what do you think of this make for method? What are you going to try and how is it going to help your business? And as we think about that, we're going to shift gears because now I want to show you how to brainstorm your content to best plan for success in social media before we put both of my methods together. So I'm going to take a second to stop sharing and I'm going to pull out my handy dandy whiteboard and we are going to create a bubble brainstorm chart. So do you remember when we were kids and we were expected to brainstorm our papers before we wrote them so we could get the best idea possible? I want to say I did it, and I know I did it in 5th grade, but I remember doing it as early as 3rd. So I'm going to take us back to our 5th grade classroom and we're going to start bubble brainstorming. All right, got my handy dandy expo marker and whiteboard. So let's get this set so you can kind of see my board a little bit better than we could before. So we are going to just draw a circle on our paper. And in that circle, I want you to write the name of your business. So I'm going to acronym mine because mine's really long. So Gray Digital Marketing. And I'm going to draw a line here and I'm going to write different things that I can talk about in my business. So I can talk about diverse and inclusive marketing. I'm going to shorten a lot of these things because I will run out of space. Draw a circle around that. I can talk about social media tricks. I can talk about the make for method. Who do we make it for? And I can talk about power of market research. All things that I do in my business. And what I'm going to do from there is I'm going to break it down further. So since we just went over the make for method, I'm going to use that as our example right now. So in this make for method, I can talk about posts being money making. I can talk about awareness posts. I can talk about getting leads. And I can talk about engagement to keep it simple. And I'm going to go through and I'm going to do those for every single one of these if I were you. So as we're looking at this, bringing it back, we're going to put our business in the center, what it is that our whole orbit circles around, and the different main topics that we talk about within what we do. Then we're going to take those large topics and we're going to talk about all the micro topics that come with it. And as you're planning this, I suggest that you do it once a month. And doing it once a month is going to get you to be able to plan an entire month's worth of content. So let's do some fast math. Let's say I have 4 ideas for this and 4 ideas for this. Looks like fun little suns. 4 ideas for this. And each one of these ideas has a money-making post, an awareness post, a killer leads post, and a engagement, educational, entertaining, or evergreen post. So let's do some quick math. This is 4, this has 4, this has 4, this has 4. If each one of these sections has 4 posts within the subsections, that means each subsection is getting 16 posts a month. So 16, 16, 16, 16. And what is 16 times 4? Well, that's just not math that I have the power to do right now. So 12 plus 12 is 24. We're going to carry the 2. 4 ones plus a 2 is 6. That is 64 posts a month. 64. That is more days than there is in a month. And I bet you could probably do this in under 10 minutes because you know your business best. So if you had the power to just pick, say you had 4 topics in your business, and I'm sure some of you have more, don't go over 7. But you have 4 topics in your business. And of those 4 topics, you can make a money-making post, an awareness post, a killer's leads post, and an engagement post for every single one. Teaching your audience, letting your audience get to know you, letting your audience engage with you, letting your audience choose to learn how to work with you, and letting your audience buy from you. If you did that, if you posted basically twice a day, and you did this at the beginning of every month, you would never not know what to post. And the anxiety of what to post today goes out the window and is made so simple because you took 10 minutes to plan for it. And you did it with intentionality because you did it with the end goal in sight. And that end goal was to make money by putting it together with the Make For method. So take a minute, take a beat, and do your bubble brainstorm chart right now. Give yourself the opportunity to just think of 4 things in your business you can talk about and 4 subtopics within those topics you can talk about. And then I bet you it won't be too hard to come up with quick posts because social media wasn't meant to be long form. It's bite-sized pieces. So how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. So let's put that away. Let's fix this camera. Gotta love angles, everyone. And let's get back to sharing our screen. So let's go over real quick what we covered today. So we started with lesson 1, which was structuring our content with using the Make For method. Setting up your post for conversion success is what helps you grow your business. By following that Make For method, you are setting yourself to be the expert in your field and serving your customers 24/7, 365 days a year. Lesson 2, we covered how to brainstorm your content. I did it in under 5 minutes, but I didn't complete it. So this takes that social anxiety out of social media, and it gets you off the metaphorical hamster wheel of, what do I post today? Giving you space to think clearly and see the path forward. And that is what lots of people struggle with. And then lesson 3 was putting it all together. Putting a process to your social media funnel with clarity on the topics you cover for your audience will put you ahead of your competition. Almost every single person who works with me tells me that they don't really have a plan. They don't know what they're going to post. And it creates a lot of anxiety for them because they feel like they have to be everywhere all the time. And you simply don't. If you do it for one social media platform, copy and paste that ish and put it on the next one. Because who sees it on Twitter isn't going to necessarily see it on Instagram, isn't necessarily going to see it on LinkedIn. So do it once and post it everywhere. And I bet you're going to get some pretty phenomenal responses. So at the end of this, did you know that you have the world at your fingertips, literally in the palm of your hand? So start posting right now, if you didn't already do so in this workshop. And I challenge you to post once a day, utilizing that make-for method to truly transform not only your business, but your growth as an individual and the connections you make online. But there's so much more to this that I couldn't just teach in a workshop that goes beyond the make-for method. So if you're interested, slide into my DMs and DM me the word make. You can do that at Gray Digital Marketing. That is at GRAY Digital MKTG on Instagram. And I will send you my free ebook on how to sell in your stores. It was such a joy to be able to work with all of you today. I hope you took away at least one thing, and I look forward to seeing you on social media. Talk soon. Mahalo. Catch you on the grab.
This thing out, taking you on a journey of the mind, asking you to just journey with her. And that journey is going to take you to a place either you ready to go or you're going to get the skills, tips that she's going to give you so that you're confident to go. Come on, y'all. Y'all, go ahead, get your pen, your paper, get your laptop, get your iPad, whatever you're using to write these notes, because I'm going to tell you want to get them. LinkedIn is where it is right now. And Facebook is still there, but LinkedIn, without LinkedIn, you're not connected to those businesses that you want so desperately to serve. So come on in. Go ahead and hit the emojis. Hit the emoji.
Imagine you are at a conference that has everyone that you want to meet, some of your peers, but your ideal clients, decision makers, money spenders, corporate representatives, professionals who need your services. You get connected to some people, and at the end of the conversation, they say, let's connect on LinkedIn. And what happens for you? Are you excited? Are you proud? Are you ready for them to see your LinkedIn? Or are you saying to yourself, I better get my LinkedIn life together? Well, hello. I am Miss Nina B. Abdul-Wakil, LinkedIn strategist, and I am the founder of Social Media Success Network. And I just want to take a few minutes to talk to you about, yes, getting your LinkedIn life together. Let's face it, there are so many opportunities for people to see you, to hear from you, to learn from you, for you to expand your business using LinkedIn, particularly if your audience is professionally oriented or corporate clients. So why aren't you on LinkedIn? What are you missing? What should you be doing? Maybe you're on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter, TikTok or Clubhouse, and those are great platforms. They have a purpose. But if you know right in the niggling space in your mind that you should be on LinkedIn and you're not doing anything about it, you need to change that. So you may be saying, okay, Miss Nina B, what do I need to be doing? So let me have a few moments of your time to just share 3 things that you need to do to get your LinkedIn life together. 3 things you need to do to get your LinkedIn life together. So the first thing. Let's start with 1. Establish your brand presence on LinkedIn. No one can buy from you if they don't know you exist. If you have an outdated profile and have no information on there about your business, how will they know you solved their problem? So your step 1 is to establish your brand presence on LinkedIn. And how do you do that? You optimize your profile. Your profile is your storefront. It's where people come to find out about you and to validate about you. So step 1, establish your brand presence by optimizing your profile. So a couple of points of what does optimizing look like? Well, let's start with a great professional headshot and a wonderful, compelling, and captivating cover image. That's that big image that's at the top of your profile. You have so many options to put there, but make sure it speaks to your target audience. And then the remainder of your profile should build upon that story. Let them know who you are. Let them know who you serve. Let them know how you serve and the results you get and help your clients get. Not to mention the piece of your profile that I call the social proof is where people can recommend you, endorse you. That says other people think you're great. You need that too. That's all about optimizing your profile. So what else do you need to do to get your LinkedIn life together? After you establish your brand presence, then you want to do number 2. Then you want to do number 2. Lift and raise your brand voice. Your content. No one knows about you unless they see you. No one knows what you care about unless they hear you. Your content is the cornerstone of your brand voice, and how you raise it on LinkedIn may vary. Obviously, you have options to post. You can post short posts, long posts, video posts, images. You have all different options to post the type of content on LinkedIn. You can create a blog post like articles, but posting is how you raise your voice. If no one knows how you feel about something, what's important to you for your clients, what kind of results that you get them, then how will they know they should work with you? So your brand voice is the second thing you need to get your LinkedIn life together. So get your brand presence and then get your brand voice. And number three is your brand engagement. Build relationships. LinkedIn is not a hit it and quit it platform. It's about building relationships for the long haul. And how do you do that? You engage with people. You get to know them. You care about what they care about. You find out how they're doing in their business, in their space, in their growth, in their development. How can what they do, how can you serve them and help them in what they do? So to engage, you have to spend time on the platform. And the platform honors that. So when you spend 15 minutes of your day on LinkedIn, commenting on your connections posts, posting your content, responding to surveys, making comments in the groups you're connected in, all of that matters. That's how you build relationships. establishing and doing messaging in LinkedIn Messenger on the platform. The platform sees you active and it honors that. That's about getting your LinkedIn life together. So, the next time you are at a conference and someone says, let's connect on LinkedIn, you don't have to shrink back. You can say, sure, let's connect. Because what? I've got my LinkedIn life together. I've got, 1, my brand presence on LinkedIn established. 2, my brand voice is clear and compelling. And 3, I know how to build relationships. That's my brand engagement. That's what brand loyalty, that builds brand loyalty. It builds branding connections, and you will start to see the return on that investment on LinkedIn. Okay, so I'm Miss Nina B, and the first thing I'd like to ask you to do is to connect with me on LinkedIn, Miss Nina B. Abdul-Wakil, and I want to help you get your LinkedIn life together.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be watching me from. Today, I will be talking about finding your yes and walking, in your power. So I have a workshop for you. It's all about finding your yes and putting your life in focus. You see, as women, we tend to allow the situations that we go through to write our stories. We tend to allow the people that are around us, we tend to allow the job, the situations we find ourselves to write our stories. We tend to want to love people, be everything for everyone, when we are actually not being anything for ourselves. And that's why I said, and today I'll be talking about finding your yes and putting your life in focus. When I say your yes, I mean YESS. YESS, finding your yes and putting your life in focus. Your yes means your essence. And your essence is the power of your presence. It's the power that touches everyone that comes in contact with you. Your essence is that heat that, burns out, that light from your burning log, that fire from the candle that is on the inside of you. It's all about who you are, what you represent. But along the line, we tend to lose this essence. On our journey as women and as young ladies, we experience things like not being good enough, maybe being cheated upon in relationships, taking care of everyone but yourself, not really doing the things that you want to do because of the culture, because of religion, because of maybe the family that you come from, the stereotypical narratives in the environment, in the world. We also conform to finding ourselves trying to fit in and blending into the background. We find ourselves as women trying to prove ourselves in different spheres of life, especially when we are in male-dominated environments. We also find ourselves trying to be perfect, trying to fix every other person but ourselves. We tend to the needs of every other person to our own detriment. Maybe because that is how we have been wired to be. We have been wired to be nurturers. However, we tend to lose ourselves and we allow the situations to write our story. And then we end up feeling stuck in a rut. We end up not living life with intention. We end up feeling so empty, depressed, We end up feeling sorry for ourselves. And then we are looking for balance. We are trying to juggle the job, the job, the marriage, being a mother, being a sister, being a friend, even being you. You are trying to find balance in your life. You want to live life on your own terms. And in the midst of it all, you realize that you are broke, busted, and disgusted. And then you find out that you need to breathe again. Hence the need for change. You start looking for change. You start trying to find yourself. You start asking yourself questions like, how did I get here in the first place? How did I lose my sense of direction? How did I lose my sense of purpose? Because I am trying to be somebody. I am trying to be something for everybody and nothing for myself. And that is the reason I created the Yes program for women. Just like you, I have been there. My name is Femi Ayodele. I live in Maryland. I am a Nigerian, and I'm a mother of 2 amazing children. I'm introverted, empathetic. I read electronics and computer engineering, and I worked for 11 years in the Nigerian oil and gas sector. I did a 9 to 5. I had this, good job. I'll get to that later. And I am the founder of Your Essence Life Coaching. You might be asking, why am I saying all of this? See, I am the first child of 3 children. I grew up in a house where my parents were always at each other's throat. And as the first child, the only girl, and I was the eldest. I am like 7 years older than my younger brother. So you see, it was like I was the one that really knew what was going on, the genesis of the breakdown of their marriage. And I'm here trying to be the good child, trying to be the peacemaker. I am the emotional support for my mom, and I am trying to be the good girl so I don't upset my father. You see, I grew up trying to be everything to everybody to the point that I forgot about my own emotional needs. So at some point, I started to parent my parents. And to make matters worse, my father was an authoritarian, and most of my decisions when it comes to schooling, when it comes to the courses that I read, were made by him. I couldn't say no because I didn't want another outburst in the house. If I say no, it will affect my mother. So I just didn't want to I just wanted to please everybody and be good and avoid chaos. So I was trying to be good for everybody. I got into this relationship and the same thing happened to me. I lost myself in this marriage. I was trying to be the best wife, got pregnant, had children. I lost myself in motherhood, trying to be the best mother. At the same time, still trying to be the best sister to my brothers and trying to be the best child, a good daughter to my parents. At the same time, juggling, trying to be the good employee at work. This was a job where I wasn't fulfilled at. But then I was having a lot of crises in my marriage. And that unfulfilling job, in quotes, became my go-to for solace. You can see how twisted it all was. The job was good, but I felt unfulfilled at it, but it was the solace that I had to go to just block my mind from the toxicity that was going on in the marriage. At a point, when I got cheated upon, that broke me. It was like I had given 12 years of my life trying to make this marriage work, trying to be the good wife. And I'm still on this unfulfilled job. I'm not still doing the job that I want to do. I read a course that I did not want to read. At that point, I started thinking, like, how did I get here? How did I get myself in this situation? How did I lose myself? I knew there was more to me than all that I was going through. Friends, I had to go on a journey to finding myself. It was when I embarked on this journey to finding myself that I began to look into me and ask my Creator for answers to the questions that I've been seeking elsewhere. You see, I was seeking answers to my questions. I was looking for myself in other people. I was looking for myself in a job. I refused to look on the inside of me. And at the end of the day, when I began to look inside me and I found these answers, I told myself, it is time to start being me unapologetically. So I made these decisions and I began to cut those things that weren't serving me anymore. I quit the job because I was frustrated at it. I was unhappy at it. Although the job had so many benefits, came with all the goodies, but I just quit the job. And I summoned the courage with all the cheating going on. I said, you know what, anything that is not serving me, I have to cut ties with it. And I decided to, have a divorce, started my own business. And I started on this journey towards finding myself. And when I was able to do this, I said, you know what? I need to awaken other women, even as I continue on my journey of, self-discovery. And that is my why. My why is to awaken other women, even as I journey in life, to empower myself and to make sure my children live life on their own terms and not on the dictates of other people, not on the dictates of a spouse, not on the dictates of their job, not on the dictates of culture, society, or whatever. It is time to write your own story and be in charge of your life. Women, it is time to put your life in focus. Life is short. You only live once. Finding yourself is all about putting your life in focus. And putting your life in focus is all about personal transformation. It's all about change. And it starts with your emotions. And like we all know, emotions are your energy in motion. And that brings me to understanding that, you see, the first law of conservation of energy says that you cannot create or destroy energy. Rather, it can be transferred from one form to the other. So you can actually transform your pain into something else, into your passion. You can transform the self-pity into power. You can transform the hate that you have for yourself into loving yourself. You can transform that confusion to determination. It all lies in you. It all lies in your ability to do the inner work. To transform yourself is all about internal change. And before you can do that, you need to do the inner work. The inner work has to do with you. You have to do the work. No one else has to do the work. You have to do the work by taking responsibility for allowing people treat you the way they treated you. People treat you the way they treat you because you allowed it. So you need to be ready to take responsibility and stand and lead yourself. Personal transformation comes with self-leadership. Without it, you cannot transform that energy from one form to another. And finding yourself, which is personal transformation, starts with you accepting yourself. It's a huge cycle. You set goals, you reconnect with yourself, you start being authentic, you renew your mind, you stretch and grab opportunities. And along the line, you tell yourself that you are your own cheerleader. You cheer yourself on and be the miracle that you want to see. So it starts from you first asking yourself, what do I really love about myself? Remember, I said that transformation starts with self-leadership. And powerful people ask powerful questions. Powerful leaders ask powerful questions, because those powerful questions will steer your focus in the direction of having positive transformation. So you first need to ask yourself, what do I love about myself? What are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? What makes me unique? I was in a what do they call it now? A team building session. And the facilitator asked us, he said, what do you love about yourself? At that point, I was like, you know, he said we should write 15 things that we loved about ourselves. Believe you me, I was only able to write 5 things. At that point, I asked myself, does it mean that I don't love myself? And that gave me an aha moment. Like, if I can't find things to love about me, how do I expect people to find things to love about me? And then it took me on this exercise and I began to write the things. I started finding things to love about myself. I began to write them and I made them my affirmations every single day. So you need to do that for yourself, because you'll be shocked. What do you love about yourself? You might just say, oh, you'll be shocked that you don't really even know what you love about yourself. And when you ask yourself, what are my weaknesses? What are my strengths? Your strengths are those things that just come naturally to you. Your weaknesses are those things that, you know, you suck at. So what I would say is, when you find your weaknesses, make sure that, I'm not saying you should focus on your weaknesses, but work on them in such a way that they don't cancel out your strength. I have put some exercises in the workbook. You can download the workbook and just take some time out and ask yourself these questions and put down what your strengths are, put down what your weaknesses are. This is like a personal SWOT analysis. What makes you unique? What are your quirks? What are those things that will make people really love you and those things that will make people really hate you? What are your quirks? What are your core values? What are those things that you stand up for? These are questions that we ask ourselves on this journey. Like I would always say, acceptance is the start of the journey. You need to be able to know yourself, accept yourself, accept your beauty, accept your quirks, accept the weaknesses, the good and the bad sides of you. And then, having done that, you begin to set goals. Okay, this is who I am. What do I really want to achieve in life? You set smart, achievable goals. Make sure your goals are smart. Make sure they are specific. They are measurable. They are attainable. They are time-bound. They are relevant to who you want to become. For example, if you want to become maybe the best at your job, at what time? What really do you want to be good at? Or you want to start a business. What kind of business do you want to start? When do you want to start the business? How do you intend to know that your business is growing? At what point do you want to have achieved this goal? This business you're saying you want to do, does it really tie with your passion and your purpose? How relevant is it to you? How are you going to measure your success? So these are the things that you need to ask yourself on your journey towards finding yourself, on your journey towards walking in your essence and embracing your power. Always have that goal in hand, and then you have a plan. You have a plan when you want to achieve what you need to achieve. Because it's one thing to have a goal. If you do not write it down, if you do not make sure that it is properly planned out, it is just a wish. It is just a wish. And I mean, you can go on with your life without achieving it. So if you're really serious about achieving your goal, you need to make sure you have a plan that is achievable. And then having done that, you grab every opportunity and live your life with excellence. Another thing that you can, another way, or what I would say I did when I was trying to find myself was I had to reconnect to my inner child. And this process of reconnecting with my inner child had everything to do with me going back to the 5-year-old me, the 7-year-old me, to ask myself, what happened to me at that time? Now, the reason I'm going there is because I have been able to realize what's happening to me now. Like, I have been able to realize that I lost myself. I'm trying to find myself again. So I went back to the 7-year-old me to say, what happened there? And I'm able to tell the 7-year-old me, look, it's okay. That is what we all need to do. We need to reconnect with our inner child. What are those things that you used to love to do that situations have made you not to do anymore? You need to ask yourself, what happened? So what we are trying to do in this scenario of reconnecting to your inner child is we are trying to collect the dots. So you collect the dots by asking yourself, okay, right now I see that I am I'm very emotional, if that's what you're feeling right now, or you are very aggressive. And then you are asking yourself, what do I do? How can I transform myself from being aggressive to being a calmer person? You then look back and say, what happened at my childhood? You go back there and collect the dots. When you collect the dots, then you are able to say, oh, okay, this happened in my childhood, and that is why I am behaving like this at the age of 30-something. Now, what you are doing is you are connecting the dots. Then the next step is for you to correct the dots. So I would always say the way, before you can move forward, you need to, go backwards and get some information that can help you learn lessons, that can help you change some things about yourself and push you forward. So I had to do that. I had to reparent myself. I had to go back to my inner child and tell my inner child that it is okay. So that's what you need to do. You need to go back and tell your inner child it's okay to feel the way you are feeling. It's now time to come out of that feeling, because it's time for you to heal. It's time for you to find yourself again. So you begin to ask yourself, what are those things that you used to do as a child that you no longer do? And ask yourself, having done that, ask yourself questions like, what do I want to be remembered for? What legacy do I want to leave on this earth? And what would I do if I'm not afraid of what the world thinks about me? What would I do if I'm not afraid of criticism? If I'm not afraid of success? If I'm not afraid of rejection and abandonment? What would I do? The first thing you need to do is to take off the mask. See, a lot of us women, we want to paint a picture like, oh, I'm in a good marriage, I have a good job. You paint that picture like my life is, I have it all together, when really you don't have it all together. Really, you are dying inside. I'm saying this because this is what happened to me. I am going to church, I'm raising holy hands, I'm feeling like everything is all together, but I'm dying inside because I'm in a toxic marriage and I am unfulfilled on my job. So I'm telling the world I am good when really I am afraid, when really I don't feel, what it's really, I am weak, really I am depressed. So what I will tell you to do is, for you to find yourself back again, you need to become authentic. You need to be vulnerable and open-minded. When you are open-minded, you open yourself up for growth. You need to follow your intuition and follow your intuition to lead you forward. You need to be able to lead yourself. Like I said earlier, self-leadership is a representation of self-love. You need to be able to speak your opinions authentically and assertively. When you are your authentic self, what you do is that you give yourself permission to become who you have been called to be. And at that time, your beauty truly shines. So I need you to tell yourself, I give myself permission to be who I have been called to be. I give myself permission to be the woman of my dreams. Having done that, you begin to renew your mind. You begin to renew your mind because you cannot get somewhere your mind hasn't gotten to. You begin to renew your mind. You begin to, activate growth. An open mind is a growth mindset. Once you begin to renew your mind, what you are doing is you are activating your growth. You are saying that I no longer want to be in the situation that I am in. I am learning better things. I am becoming the me that I have been called to be. And what you do at that point is you begin to learn new things. You filter truths. You unlearn what you have learned before. You research and then you relearn. And at that point, what you are doing is you are taking yourself to a point, because it's all about transformation. When you renew your mind, you are taking yourself to a point where you become the miracle that you want to see. You become the woman of your dreams. And when you are at that point where you are the woman of your dreams, the next thing for you to do is you begin to walk in your essence. You begin to stretch and grab opportunities. When I mean stretch, I mean you begin to look inside of you. The Bible says that out of your bellies shall flow rivers of living waters. The Bible also tells me that I should seek first the kingdom of God, and every other thing shall be added on unto me. How do you seek the kingdom of God? The Bible says the kingdom of God is on the inside of you. So the truth is, you have a well of creativity on the inside of you. So where do you need to stretch to? Stretch inside. Stretch into the gifts that lie inside of you, so that you can tap into the well that will spring forth rivers of living waters. In other words, what I'm trying to say is work on your gifts and talents, those giftings that you have buried because of what people will say, those talents, those things that you have stopped to do, those things that bring life back into you that you have stopped to do because of what people will say. Go back and begin to work your gifts. Seek opportunities that are in line with your passion. Grab these opportunities and continue to move with excellence. See, when you start to do that, the truth is you will have a lot of haters. You will have a lot of people who might not understand you anymore. They'll be like, you are changing. I don't understand you. They misunderstand you. Some will envy you. Some will just, But what I'm here to tell you today is you need to be your own cheerleader. You need to get to a point where you are affirming yourself. See, if you did not do the work of knowing yourself, of knowing those things that you love about yourself, you cannot bring yourself to a point where you can say nice things to yourself. You will not be able to bring yourself to the point where you can affirm yourself. If you are unable to lead yourself because you love yourself, you will not be able to invest in yourself. Invest in yourself, treat yourself well, because nobody would. Like I said before, you show people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. That was something that I wasn't doing for myself. That was something that I didn't think I loved myself enough. And that was why I was treated the way I was treated. So you need to show people how to treat you by how you treat yourself. You love on yourself, affirm yourself, invest in yourself. So this journey of finding your yes through personal transformation is a continuous journey. It doesn't end It's you, after being the miracle that you want to be, you continue to accept. It's just a cycle. It's a continuous process. And what I would say to you, yes, you watching me, is don't fit in. Stand out, stand tall, shine, and fly. Because it's time to rewrite your story. A lot of times we forget that we are the star in our own movie. We forget that we need to write our own story. This is the reason that this Your Essence Life Coaching and the Yes program was created. Are you searching for a way to improve your life, to make changes in your life? You need someone who will listen, because sometimes the journey can be very tiring, especially when you are walking this life on your own, when you have no one cheering you up. You need someone who will listen, ask tough questions, and help you find what you have been missing in your life. You need an accountability partner, and that is what we provide with Your Essence Life Coaching. We provide you the opportunity to break free from old patterns of behavior that no longer serve you. And we help you create lasting change by holding you accountable to the goals that you set yourself to achieve. We look into areas of personal relationship, career, and spiritual life as well. I am dedicated to helping my clients achieve their goals with compassion, empathy, professionalism, and respect. The services that I provide are tailored specifically for young ladies and women, because I realize that there are a lot of people, a lot of women that are struggling in this area. They are struggling, they are juggling too many things at the same time, juggling with finding themselves. And that is why I decided to tailor my services towards young ladies and women. I really want to help you put your life in focus. We make use of powerful, proven tools and techniques that can help you create new beliefs for the future. Now, the first step is always figuring out what it is we really want from our lives and what we need to change or modify in order to get there. Your Life Essence Coaching provides the guidance needed through every stage of the process, so you don't have to go through it alone. It can be very challenging. You might be going through a divorce. You might be going through, trying to transit from your career to your business. You might be going through depression at the point of childbirth. You might be trying to just find your space in this world. Your Essence Life Coaching provides the guidance that you need through every step of the way. We have a 3-month intensive self-analysis, discovery journey, mindset shifting, journey. You have access to my free ebook. In this 3-month intensive program, you have online courses that are free as well. You have access to the Facebook group. I have one-on-one life coaching sessions that are tailored just for you. So whether it is your career, it is your relationship, or just general how to cope with life issues you want coaching on, I am here. We are available to provide these services to you. I'm here to serve you. I also offer group life coaching sessions where you can learn from other people, you can collaborate with other women, you can also network with other women and create that support. Sometimes we just need the support around us, support of people that have gone through the things that we have gone through, to be able to tell us, look, you are on the right direction, we have your back, we feel your pain. So This group coaching sessions will also provide you with all of that. And you also have access to my online YouTube content. Once again, my name is Femi Ayodele. And if you would love to, contact me, I have a link to my calendar where you can have a free discovery call, free 30 minutes discovery call. The link is right here. And you can call me on 240-716-9130. My number is 240-716-9130. My IG is YesLC_123. And you can send me a friend request on Facebook, Oluwafemi Ayodele. You can also email me on yourlife@yeslifecoaching.com. See, I am here to be your sister in transformation because I believe that you cannot do life alone, especially when you are in a tough situation. You need support. You need someone to hold your hand along the way and tell you that it's okay. You need someone to hold your hands along the way and hold you accountable to those things that you said you will do. You need someone to hold your hand along the way and tell you that you are meant for this journey. You need someone to hold your hand along the way and tell you that you will be fine. You will be fine even if it looks as if everything is going south for you. I just need you to reach out and we'll take it up from there. Once again, my name is Femi Ayodele, and I hope to hear from you very soon. Please do not forget that you need to put your life in focus. I love you all, guys. Please do remember to download the workbook, and I have quite a lot of exercises for you over there. Feel free to take those exercises to heart, do them, and you'll be happy that you did. Thank you once again. Bye, guys.
Hi, I'm Vanessa Cliffy K with the Impactpreneur Coaching Network, and we're here today to talk about the entrepreneur mindset. Anyone can come up with a new idea, but building a successful business around it is the entrepreneur challenge. The entrepreneur mindset is unique. It must be creative. It must be communicative and highly motivated to succeed, but open to risk and failure. The success or failure of the business comes down to characteristics of the entrepreneur. It takes a unique characteristic to blend one big idea into a fully functional, thriving business. As an entrepreneur, you must think different about your approach and work toward separating your mindset from the rest. Entrepreneurship is the birth, the choice, and the destiny. Birth is the dream. Choice is deciding to focus on that dream. Destiny is the future results from a predetermined course of events. Martin Luther King said, "Faith is taking the first step even when you can't see the whole staircase." As an entrepreneur, we work tirelessly, working toward our goals, always thinking about the next move toward success. Everyone has their own version of success. It's personal. However, once you identify your version, then you start to set realistic goals. You must understand your impact as a leader and take actions to be impactful. Fear of success can hold you back. You define the moment, or the moment defines you. Focus on your goals. Be specific. Growth is uncomfortable. It's easy to set goals, but harder to make the sacrifice. Don't think outside the box. Think like there is no box. Challenges are inevitable, but quitting should never be an option. Grow into the best version of yourself. Dream with your eyes open. Remind yourself why you decided to make a difference. I have 5 characteristics to cultivate your success. Number 1, a positive mindset and outlook is a must for any successful entrepreneur. The mindset is the head of the company. It sets goals for the tone and the rest and influences the culture. Negative thoughts undermine the forward motion of the progress of the company, not to mention the ability to lead and motivate the staff. Cultivating a positive attitude is not about sticking your head in the sand and ignoring the things that could go wrong, but it's about learning how to mentally reframe your response. Number 2, you must have a creative mindset. Creativity is needed for any entrepreneur success. The mind of an entrepreneur is always looking for ideas and innovations. The basic life cycle of the entrepreneur product stems from the conception of the idea, followed by turning the idea into a viable product or service. Number 3, persuasive communication ability. The best entrepreneurs are persuasive individuals. The power of persuasion can help you negotiate, close sales, and get a better price on your inventory. Persuasive people tend to be inspiring leaders, while some are more naturally persuasive than others. Persuasive communication skills can lead you to learn the practice that is needed. Learning to communicate is advantageous no matter what your industry is. Number 4, motivation and drive. Motivation is one of the top characteristics of any entrepreneur. You must be self-motivated as opposed to looking for others to push you and helping you hold you accountable to get things done. Having a lot at stake fuels the motivational key and using goals to motivate the high quality. High quality goals are clear, achievable, and manageable. High quality goals provide a sense of motivation, which accomplish any objective. Number 5, the ability to learn from failure. Man, when starting a business, you hope that your business will be successful. Success is wonderful, but failure is where growth and change happens. The key to learning from failure is actually learn and embrace your mistakes so that you can make better decisions that won't break you. Failure is inevitable, but your reaction to your failure is what makes you. Do your best to remove emotion from your mistakes to make you the best entrepreneur. Starting and running a business is exciting, rewarding, and positive. You get things done. You learn how to embrace your entrepreneurial mindset and cultivate key characteristics linked to your success. This will help you build a thriving business. I'm Vanessa Cookie K, with the Impactpreneur Coaching Network.
Wow, there are so many obstacles and challenges that were defining moments for me. However, there is one that I know shift the trajectory of my life. And that was when I was unjustly fired from a job that I sacrificed so much for. It was devastating and painful on so many levels. Number one, I was a single parent raising a 2-year-old daughter. This was my only source of income. And then also I left corporate America to pursue this opportunity because I believed in the vision and the mission of this organization. And to have taken almost a $10,000 pay cut to give my all to this organization and their cause, and to have myself to be unjustly fired, that was hard for me. I chose this particular assignment, this particular business, because I love to see women leading out front. Yes, I would love to see women in leadership, leading in the marketplace, leading in ministry. And this is why I established You Are You and Associates and You Are Unique Academy, because I want to teach, I want to train, I want to coach ambitious women who may work a 9-to-5 and they feel unfulfilled, undervalued. Hello, my name is Geronda Marks, also known as Coach J. I am the owner of You Are You and Associates and the CEO and founder of You Are Unique Academy. I was born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana, so I'm a 504 girl. However, I am presently residing now in Forney, Texas. The women that work with me, I want them to know their worth. I want them to be confident and courageous, and to know that they add value to every room, to every table, to every life that they encounter. I am committed to fulfill my God-ordained purpose. I know that this is a kingdom assignment for me. I always tell individuals, I'm gonna die empty. I am a pitcher that pours. And so I want to pour into this next generation. I want to also pour into the world. Every gift, every skill, every talent that I have, I am a resource. And as the word says, I want to be an epistle that's read of men.
It's been so much fire here on the Black CEO, this conference, this summit, this fire has been so good that I had to came out my jacket, y'all. I done came out my jacket. But here's the deal. Right now, Geronda Marks is going to tell us about how to own our space, own the room for success. She's going to give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 strategies, 5 things, 5 walls to knock down, 5 things that we got to do to make sure that we own that space for our success. Come on, Miss Moss. Come on. All right, y'all, hit the emojis. Y'all know what to do. Hit the emoji.
Hello, my name is Geronda Marks, and I am hailing from Forney, Texas, but I'm a 504 girl. And I am sharing with you a message today that I really believe is going to impact your life and really set you up for success. And the title is The Upside Downs of Being a Successful CEO. Did you get that? The upside downs of a successful CEO. Let me ask you a question. Do you have a dream? You're probably like, I have so many dreams, Coach J, Geronda. What a question to ask. Well, let me ask you another question. Is this dream big, beautiful, and humanly impossible, which means you need God's help to make it happen? Yeah, we all, many of you that are viewing me right now and listening to me right now, I know you have a dream. But one of those dreams that you may have is being the CEO of your own life, being your own boss, That's an amazing, exciting dream. And trust me, that's a possible dream. Why don't you declare that with me? It is possible. Yeah, it is possible for me to be the CEO of my own life. But also, too, what does that really look like? For me, I'll give you 4 F's when I think about being the CEO of my own life. One of them is freedom. Yes, freedom, meaning not having a taskmaster on your back, breathing all on your neck. You could be as creative as you desire to be. Yeah, you won't have any limitations or restrictions, meaning you're liberated to do what you want to do. That's freedom. Yes. And flexibility. Flexibility is also something that we all desire, meaning being able to set your own schedule, to be able to spend quality time with your children, your loved ones, without any fear of losing your job if you have to take care of a loved one, things like that. So freedom and flexibility. Also, what about financial security? We all want to experience financial security. What does that look like? Having enough money to take a vacation wherever you want to go, whenever you want to do it, saving up for your retirement or an investment. Yeah, but then the other F, I love this one, fulfillment. Come on, think about that. I want to be doing the work that I'm doing now in this season. I want it to be fulfilling. I want it to be my calling, my assignment. And so when we think about being our own CEO, that's what we think about: freedom, flexibility, financial security, and fulfillment. That's a great future. And guess what? You can have that as well. But also, I want you to understand that on this entrepreneurial journey, as you are endeavoring to be your own boss, this journey can be both a blessing and a burden. Oh yeah, it's some ups and some downs. And so I want the truth to be told. I want you to understand that it's not always crystal stairs or a bed of roses. No, we got to shed the truth about this journey of entrepreneurship, building a business. Because you know what? When we look at social media could fool us. Let me tell you, everything you see that glitters is not gold. Social media is showing us the highlight reels of people's lives, business owners, the cars, the houses, the likes, and all of those wonderful things. I call that the pop in the bottles and you can have whatever you like lifestyle. And you know what? All of that is possible, but make sure that you don't get it twisted, that there are going to be some ups and downs. You have to have the right perspective of what it means to be a successful CEO. So all Coach Jay want you to do, I want you to just look at this journey as a journey that's going to add value to you. Yeah, you're going to have the ups, the downs, you're going to have the trials and the tribulations, but do know that that's what makes a great CEO. Let me ask you the question, what does success mean to you? Not what the world says success is, but what does it mean to you? I like to say that success is me finding and following the will of God for my life. We can't let the world dictate to us what success looks like. And so the question becomes, what does success looks like for you? What is it that you've been assigned to do? You have to have the right perspective and understand that nothing happens overnight. We all have to undergo a process. So all I want to do is I want you to be alert and I want you to be vigilant. Because on this journey, like I said, you'll have some ups and downs, but I don't want you to break down in the middle of the journey. So I am going to share with you 5 areas. Say that with me, 5. 5 areas that you need to safeguard when you're traveling down this entrepreneurial journey. You know how it is that you don't see it now, but say for instance, at the bank, there's a vault and you have a guard that is standing outside the vault. That guard, that police officer, they're on duty, to protect the precious jewels on the other side of the door. And this is what I need you to do. These 5 areas, I need you to put a guard at the door. I need you to have some safeguards put up. So you ask, what are those areas? Well, number 1, your personal life. On this journey, please know your personal life, it will suffer if you do not pay close attention to it. Come on, what do I mean? Your relationships. Because on this journey, your relationships can have go through some strenuous seasons, some challenges, some ups and downs if you're married, if you have children. So you have to get the right perspective about your personal life, and you need to safeguard your personal life. You have to, let me tell you how you could do that. You must clarify the vision. With whoever is walking alongside of you on this journey, be clear about the vision that you have for your family. Communicate your commitments, because guess what? You're not going to just be working 8 hours a day. No, you're going to be working 24 hours a day. Sometimes you're going to just have to just burn the midnight oil. And the people you're connected to, your spouse, your children, need to understand so that they will not suffer. So you have to clarify the vision in your personal life, communicate your commitments, and then consistently check in. Okay, I'm talking about that one area, your personal life. I don't want to see your personal life suffer. I've coached so many men and women who are on this journey and their spouses are not on board. Their children, it's like their pain. It's like they're thorn in their flesh. And I thank God for my husband. If it wasn't for my husband, I don't think I could be able to be as successful as I am, because he's my support. He's my cheerleader, and you need that. So that's number one, your personal life. How about your rest? Oh, you're going to have those sleepless nights, but you got to be intentional in getting the proper rest. Yes. You have to make sure that you're taking the necessary breaks. You're going on the vacations, taking the vacations, long vacations. You're making time for self-care. Take care of you. This is the only body you have. So you have to take care of yourself. Get the proper rest. Man, you know what? Rest is not just sleep. Let me say that again. Rest is not just sleep. I'm talking about some mental rest, emotional rest. So you have to make sure that you get rest. Why? Because you can't be creative if you are not properly rested. Okay. So you need the rest. Number three, your heart and your mind, hand and glove. There'll be highs and there'll be lows. And there's some things that the enemy are going to send to attack you, make you feel low, failure, disappointment, setbacks. Guard your heart and your mind on this journey. There are going to be some successes. There's going to be some failures, but you have to guard your heart and mind for your mentality, for your mindset and your sanity, your mindset and your sanity. All right. You got it. So number four, we're on the fourth one, your experiences. There will be some unforeseen challenges that you will have to go through. And so I want you to not think it's strange concerning these trials that you go through. Your experiences are necessary for the journey. Your experiences is how you're able to reflect and able to bounce back from those setbacks. Okay. So area number 4 is your experiences. Okay. You have to be able to guard that. And then your reputation. Everyone will not like you. Everyone will not support you. Everyone will not be happy about you going on this journey. So understand that they're going to talk about you. And this is what I tell individuals. I said to those that I coach, what other people say about you, man, that's their business, not your business. You focus on your business, okay? Just don't give them ammunition to shoot you or to kill you with, okay? Make sure you're doing the right thing, all right? So I've shared with you 5 areas to safeguard on this journey, because it's gonna be challenging, but you can handle it. Your personal life, your rest, your heart and mind. I say those go hand in glove. The experiences, and then your reputation. Man, trust me, every CEO, we start out optimistic and excited about the journey, but then things happen along the way. But when those things happen along the way, I dare you to be consistent. Stay consistent. Keep your why in your heart. Be proactive in your defense against attacks. I've given you them. Right? I've shared with you the 5 areas that you must safeguard. Okay. So this message is your defense. It's your preparation and it's your prescription when times get tough and times get hard. Don't let those areas suffer, because you'll always be able to bounce back. Okay. So understand that in this season, all I want you to do, I want you to level up and lead. I want you to boss up and build a successful business. I want you to keep showing up. I want you to keep your word, and I want you to finish strong. And as I always say, I like to encourage individuals to know that you have value. Your skills, your gifts, they're valuable to the kingdom. They're valuable to the people that you serve. So this is what I want you to always do. I want you to always remember that you add value to every room you walk into, to every table that you sit at, and then also to every life that you're going to encounter on this journey. You got what it takes. There's gonna be highs and lows, there's gonna be ups and downs, but I guarantee you, you're gonna make it. So I hope that you will go out and be successful. I know you could do it. Thank you.
I've often thought that being successful was balancing everything and always giving everything and everyone an equal amount of time. What I've come to realize is that it's not in the balancing, but in successfully blending. And by blending, I mean taking all parts of your life, whether it's your business, whether it's school, whether it's your family, whether it's your hobbies, whether it's self-care, blending all of that successfully from day to day, month to month, year to year, and just blending those facets so that you are a complete and whole person, able to give your whole and complete self. And when you're in those different facets, truly honoring being present at those times. I think that's the biggest challenge that I'm glad that I've overcome. I chose my business because it fills an industry need. And it's important to me that I'm able to empower others that look like me to build wealth by maximizing what they've already mastered and taking that mastery into the areas of corporate and government contracting, as well as pivoting their minority certifications to maximize their business growth. I'm Dr. B. Adamson, and I'm here from Dallas-Fort Worth, Texas. My company is Erlo Owens Transportation and Logistics. Again, welcome. People often say they want 7 different streams of income. And when we think of that, we often think 7 different kinds of businesses. When in actuality, I'd like those that are willing to work with me to be willing to invest in their business so that they maximize what they've already mastered, and just using a different pathway to do that, that being government and corporate contracting. I plan to make the world by being committed to living my life by its authentic design and not living life by default, and by default in choosing not to take chances, make informed decisions and actionable choices so that I can live my authentic purpose.
Hey friend, it is your transformation architect, and I just want to check in. I just want to do a quick check-in. I hope that you're using your pen and your paper, your iPad, your computer, your laptop, your mind. I hope you're getting what you came to get. Don't leave any money, mindfulness, or magnitude or magnificence on the table. Oh, let's get into it. Because Brandy Adamson is going to come and talk to us about building successful economics bridges between corporations and communities. What is she going to be talking about? She's going to be talking about leveraging your minority contracts. She's going to talk about us going in there and getting those corporate contracts. If this is for you, you better be tapped in, dialed all the way in. If you know somebody that this is for, get them on the line. If they ain't in this conference right now, get them on the horn. They ought to be here. Take notes, because you don't want to miss out on this. Y'all know what to do. Go ahead and give her flowers now. Hit the emojis, clap, clap. Make sure you pay attention and put little words in there. I'll be back.
Hello, and thank you for joining. Today, we are going to speak about building successful economic bridges between corporations and communities from the aspect of government contracting. This is being presented by Arlo Owens, Inc. We thank you for joining us. Our agenda. We'll tell you a little bit about Arlo Owens. We'll talk about what is contracting, the importance of pivoting into contracting. We know as business owners, we wonder, okay, is this the new thing? Is this really something feasible for my business? Is it worth my time? We'll talk about leveraging your minority certification. And lastly, we'll talk about the significance to your business and your community. So, Arlo Owens, Inc., we're your partner and advisor in business development. This is a woman-owned company. We have cross-industry experience in servicing, and we have a national client base. So no matter your industry, we've probably worked with you. We provide consulting and advisory services in a number of areas: government and corporate contracting, minority certification, subcontract management, when you have those contracts, as well as compliance to ensure that you're following what you've signed up for in your contract, as well as contract lifecycle management. So you're invoicing, ensuring that your insurance stays intact, and the like. We also talk about business and strategic development. We work with companies to build diversity inclusion programs. So supplier diversity program development and administration. We also do some matchmaking. So if you are interested in being in the contracting space, we can help you find which organizations, being companies, or which agencies you best kind of match with. We also do branding. Branding is important because that is your face to your clients. So, what is contracting? Government contracting is the process that allows a company to sell their goods and/or services to the government. And when you think government, remember county agencies, city agencies, state agencies, and federal. There are different types of contracting opportunities. There are those that are competitive. I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with RFBs or low bid. There's the RFP, which is a proposal process. And then there's RFQ, which is a request for qualification. Interestingly enough, there is a single and sole source component to contracting. And in this portion, it's not competitive. So if you have created a system or a product and you are the sole provider of that, you don't have to compete. But the government has to know what you have, who you are, and how they can find you. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. There's also set-asides. So when you think about set-asides, those are for specific groups. So it may be for small business, it may be for women in business, it might be for minorities. Those are other opportunities that are allowed to you as well. So you say, yes, I'm interested. What are my immediate needs as far as government contracting? Your business has to be legally formed. You will want to get with an attorney or an accountant to figure out how to form what's best for you. You also need a Dun & Bradstreet number. Those are at no cost. And you go to the Dun & Bradstreet website and you register your business there. But before you go to Dun & Bradstreet, you'll want to figure out your NAICS code, which is the North American Industry Classification System code. And what that does is, by that code, businesses know, what do you do? So there's a primary code, and then sometimes you have secondary codes, depending on the goods and services that your company provides. So after you have that information, you'll want to register in SAM. There is where it's kind of the hub for contracting. So it can seem massive, but as you kind of go through the process, take it chunks at a time, familiarize yourself with the hub, if you will, it will become a lot easier. One thing I did not put on here is that you'll need a tax number, an EIN from the IRS. So don't forget that, because you'll need that. Additional things you'll want to think about. A lot of government agencies require business insurance. So you will want to make sure that your insurance policy is current. If you don't have insurance, then you'll want to reach out and get some quotes and find out what's best for your business. You'll want a business bank account so that they can either ACH your money or send you a check. Website. A lot of people say, oh, you don't have to have a website. Oh, just put up a one-pager. But think about it. The government spends a massive amount of money with other companies so that they can operate efficiently. If you want a piece of that pie, don't you want to put your best foot forward? Don't you want them to be able to enter your URL and see exactly what you do? Website. You'll want an email address, which is tied to that domain name. So don't have www.companyname.com, but then have a @Outlook email, a Gmail, a Yahoo, a Hotmail. It's about that branding. They want everything to look a certain way, because you have to remember, you're moving into a new space. And not only are the government agencies or the corporations looking, but also those primes that if you are new to the space, you may want to begin to partner with. Capability statement. It's your business resume. What do you do? What certifications do you have? What projects have you worked on? What are your NACE codes? They want to know. It does not have to look exactly like a professional resume. You want your logo. You want to put your capabilities. You want to lay it out. But again, that's part of branding. You want to be sure you use power words. Don't make it cluttered. So it's a process. And a lot of times people refresh their CAPE statement. That's a moving document, because if you've done 4 projects and then in 2022, or you do 4 more projects, you're going to want to move those around. And you don't have to list every project. You'll want to list those that are most relevant and eye-catching to potential primes. Why do you need to pivot? Why should you consider pivoting? We've had a lot going on in the last couple of years. COVID, I mean, we've all heard what COVID is. We've all been affected in some type of way, whether it was changing the way that your family moved throughout just your daily lives, whether you had children or relatives that were remote learning, whether you may have potentially been remote working, if you had contracts or worked or consulted with the company and they said nobody on site. Everybody, and of course, mask, hand sanitizer, wipes. We've all seen that. Well, with that, there's been a pivot. You've seen people saying, oh, I sell this or I sell that. And you're like, you sell that? They pivoted. They saw the opportunity. They saw the need that companies and the government had, and they pivoted to benefit. You maximize your expertise. If you're an accountant, you have an opportunity to work with the government on systems implementations, audits, lots of things, janitorial service. You may be in this area and you may want to expand. This gives you opportunity to do that. Choice. You have an opportunity to choose what projects interest you, what government agencies you want to work with. Some companies say they only want to work within their city. Or they may say, I'm willing to work in my state, move around in my state. Some people say, oh, I want to work with the DOT, Department of Transportation. Well, that could be anywhere. Some people can say, oh, I want to work with just my county. And that's fine. But that's the power that contracting gives you. You have a flexibility of time. You may say, oh, these 3 months, I'm going to work hard. I've got my project list, but I'm going to take off a couple of months. I need to take these couple of months off for the holidays, or I have things with my family, commitments, things I want to take care of. I have a family reunion that I'm planning. You have more flexibility of time and control of your schedule. And of course, increased cash flow. Nobody is in business to just have a hobby. You want your bottom line to grow. And that's what contracting allows. It allows you to get indoors and have opportunities that you may not meet yourself just being business to business, finding clients on your own. You have the ability to grow and expand your business. Right now, you may be an entrepreneur, you may be a solopreneur or a consultant, and maybe right now you may have a 1099, someone you 1099 to do some work for you. But have you thought about what it would mean to be an employer? Employer affects change not only in your business, in your life, but in the lives of others. And of course, you need money to do that. You need money to pay them, to pay benefits. This allows you that opportunity. Facts about contracting. You have the opportunity to work as a prime, which means you sign the contract with the government, or as a subcontractor, where you work with another team, but you're responsible to that prime. The SBA works with federal agencies to award 23% of prime dollars to small businesses. And I will say this, the definition of small is not that small. So you can be a small business for a long time. It depends, those thresholds depend on your NAICS code. This process allows a company to sell their goods and services to the government. So you have an opportunity to get your business indoors that you may not have in the past. So there's lots of opportunities. And again, I want to stress again, 23% of prime dollars is the goal to small businesses. That's a lot, 23. But we've got to be in the room for them to give them to us. And if we're not in the room, they got to give them to somebody else because they've got to operate the business, right? So let's think about getting in that room if you're not there already. And if you are in the room, let's think about how you're going to grow your presence in that room. Let's talk about leveraging your minority certification. So first, what is it? What is a minority certification? It's a certification by a third-party organization that certifies that your business is in fact 51% owned by an economically and socially disadvantaged individual. Yes, you can look at me and see I'm brown. There's no doubt about it. However, and I can say, oh yeah, I own this company. But if I really don't, I really don't. It has to be by a third-party organization that the federal government utilizes. There are lots of organizations that do that. We'll talk about those in a little bit. And you might think, why do I need to get certified? You can look at me and tell I'm brown. Why do I need to do that? You can still work with me. I'm still available. You're absolutely right. However, on a lot of contracts, they have a goal that says, of this money, this much has to be spent with a minority-owned company, and you have to be certified. It can't just be, oh, I'm going to use your company because you're here and I know that you're owned by a Black woman or a Black man or a woman. No, you have to be certified because they have to have that documentation. Where do you get certified? A lot of places available. These are several of the larger organizations, and in your area, there may be a smaller organization that partners with these organizations. So We Bank is for women, the National Minority Supplier Development Council, then DOT. DOT is federal, but they have several areas. Each state kind of has their own DOT as well. So you would want to go to your state. So if you're in Maryland, you want to go to the Maryland DOT. If you're in California, you want to go to the California DOT. If you're in Illinois, you want to go to the Illinois DOT. So throughout this conversation, I've kind of trickled little tidbits. I've talked about changing from just being a consultant to being an employer. I've talked about how you can expand your business. You think about it, expanding your business affects your community, affects your city, it affects your neighborhood. You're able to help other businesses. If you're a prime and you get a prime contract in your neighborhood or in your city, you can't do all the work. You have a big construction project. You may not have employees that can do everything, but I may be able to reach out to said company one that's certified and have them do the plumbing. Have another one do the landscaping. Have someone else over the engineering piece to make sure that the drawings and that we have everything we need. It's cyclical. There is significance in doing this. And if you think about it, yes, your business is here, but you affect your neighborhood. Because if you live here, you may say, oh, I'm going to go shop at this store more, or I'm going to go volunteer and join this organization, or the schools in my neighborhood, they have a fundraiser, or where they're looking for advertising. So then you're helping your neighborhood. Then again, you help other businesses. I can't do it all, can't do everything. So I'm going to allow someone else on the project so that not only I can be successful, but they can too. I may get to the point where I start hiring more employees. I may have a couple of contractors, but then I want to bring them in and get 10 or 12. So again, you can affect change. Why small businesses? The government wants to buy from you because they don't want it to be all big business. All businesses have new ideas and processes. Again, economic development, job creation, and opportunities for disadvantaged and socioeconomic groups to come forward and really show what they can do. We thank you for the opportunity. If you have questions or want more information, this is our contact information. Again, please consider moving into this space. They need you. We need you.
All right, our next speaker. Alicia Brooks is going to be talking about finding your branding voice. She's going to be talking about showing up in your personal brand. I'm talking about showing up, getting big with it. Are you all ready to hear from her? You know, I love anybody that's talking about showing up, unmuting and saying it, believing it, and doing it. So let's hear what she got to say. I, for one, cannot wait to hear from Alicia. Let's go. You know what to do. Hit those emojis. Come on, y'all. Let's do it.
Hello, my name is Alicia Brooks, and I am the CEO of Brand Equal You, where women come to me to redefine, redesign, and reset their life, find their voice, their power, and their purpose to showcase their brilliance to the world through my brand blueprints and my personal mastery programs. I'm excited today to talk to you about finding your brand voice and owning your personal brand. So, are you ready? Let me take you back to something. I want to ask you a couple of questions first. What have you been silent about? What are you passionate about and not showing up in confidence in? How would your voice transform lives for a greater impact and influence? You see, I had to ask myself these questions, these hard questions, because you see, I was born with a twin. I'm a second twin. And I'm going to take you back to the womb because that's where I was first introduced to my voice and not having one. You see, my twin sister covered me up. So my parents didn't know, they didn't hear, they didn't see me on the ultrasound. And so I was a surprise. And when no one knew that they were having twins, can you imagine how devastating that was? So I spent years playing small from the womb, not speaking up when I needed to for myself and for others. And I was not confident as I am today. I found myself shrinking back and not showing up in grand ways that I knew I could. I had someone tell me, Alicia, you're only operating at 20% of your potential. And that truly hurt me to the core. So I had to do the work on me emotionally, mentally, spiritually, so that I can build myself up and walk boldly in my purpose and my passion as a Black woman CEO. But the transformation came when I stepped truly into my divine feminine purpose, and I owned it. I got crystal clear on who I am, what value I bring to others and in themselves and in business, and also personally as well. And I built up my confidence and my self-esteem so high that I know how to rock my personal brand unapologetically. As a personal brand catalyst, I get to work with amazing individuals and businesses on defining, designing, and developing their personal brands and their business brands, because that is an extension of who they are, so that they can live up to their fullest potential. You see, Black business CEOs and Black business owners have to always walk and produce in excellence. But when you're not totally clear on your why behind your personal brand, it becomes somewhat distorted when you show up, because you don't have the clarity of who you are, what your personal brand stands for, who you want to attract, what's the messaging behind it, and how are you going to have impact, influence, and increase your revenue. So let me give you a couple of tips on how you can build and own your personal brand. Number one, understand that your personal brand's mission and vision is so important. It's imperative that you know the why behind it. You see, if you don't have one, it's going to be like, have I arrived? Am I attracting the right clients? Are they really hearing my message? Am I really transforming lives? Am I serving in the best way that I can? So you got to get crystal clear on your purpose. Then you need to know what your personal brand is, because that's your superpower, because it represents what you want people to believe, think, and say about you. You must change what you believe about yourself so that you can change what the world believes about you. Number three, You need to develop your own swag, your confidence, your self-esteem, because you can only go as far as your confidence will allow you to. If you aren't building your confidence up, you won't show up in ways that can hurt your business and your influence and your revenue. So you got to have processes that run your business, and building your personal brand is what grows your business personality. That's what's going to attract individuals and businesses to you or your movement. Your business has a personality and a culture that is directed totally by you. So you need to know that your personal brand is an extension of who you are on the inside. So whatever and however you see yourself shows up on the outside based on what's on the inside. So you get to rock it the way you want to. You get to own your personal brand, your style, your lifestyle, your network, and how you do and say you do business. That's an extension of your personal brand. You see, when you know your personal brand and what it stands for, it will assist you in finding your purpose, your voice, your power, and knowing that everything you need comes from the inside, so that you can display that your brandique brilliance on the outside and share that with the world. You see, brands need 3 things to grow and lead today. Number 1, emotional influence. It's a feeling about your brand that customers feel or don't feel with other brands. Number 2, your brandique distinction. It's a way of doing things that customers interpret as different and meaningful from an industry standard. Number 3 is your authentic connection, a way of engagement that enforces why customers or clients choose to keep your brand in their lives and top of mind. You see, therefore, you want to make sure that you are transforming lives through your brand, through your services, through your products. You need to understand that your personal brand is more than just colors and a beautiful color palette or a logo. It's your vision, it's your mission, so that you can set the tone for your brand, so that you can really rock it and set the world on fire with building a movement behind it. Your brandique assets, what sets you apart, and what shows up for you that's going to attract others and have your divine clients. You must get crystal clear on what you have to offer and the value that you bring, so that you can have influence, impact, and increase your bottom line revenue. You see, my mission is to truly define, reignite your mindset, your spirit, and send an electric charge to your emotions. Because all of it comes from the inside out. It sets your soul on fire when you get to do this. And so you get to learn more about yourself. You get to learn and see what makes you different, your core values. It sets you apart. So your self-esteem, all of this gives you a soul orgasm so that you can be the person you want. You can have the business that you want, and you can show up and show out and be the light in the world. You see, I get to do this because that's my passion. I've done the work, and you have to do that too. You have to look at who you are, what you have to offer. Why are you offering it? What actually makes you different? There is nothing new under the sun. There are people doing the same things that you are doing. But what makes you and your brand different? What makes your personal style different? Right? So you have to think about, how are you showing up? Why are you showing up in certain ways? What is going to separate you from the others? Why should people be attracted to you? You want to ask yourself these questions. These are important questions outside of your colors, what your logo looks like. Yes, that's all important. And yes, you need all of that to create your marketing plan. But first, you got to understand that you have to have a personal brand first before you start marketing anything, which goes back to your brand voice, your brand messaging, your brand values. What are the extensions of your brands? Because you do know that there's just not one way of doing things. There's just other streams of creating your brand and creating that movement to attract others to it, right? So you got to look at your personal brand as an extension of who you are. And that's going to be totally ingrained with your business brand. Your business brand is an extension of you. And because you are the CEO, you are the Black CEO, you have to own it. You have to walk in that. But you got to really look at, what does that really mean for you? What do you really want to put out into the world that says, this is who I am. This is my brand. This is my business. This is how I'm going to transform, influence, and impact the world. If you have not done that work first, and if you haven't gotten crystal clear on that work, if you haven't truly walked in that, if you haven't asked yourself those hard questions, if you don't know in confidence, full confidence about who you are, what services you offer, what's your brand voice, and truly rock it, truly own it, I would love to talk to you, because that's where a lot of us small business, large size businesses, regardless, Black CEOs have fallen short. We have not gotten crystal clear on who we are, what we stand for, what are our core values, what's our brand voice, our messaging, our mission, our vision behind who we are, so that we can put that into our businesses, so that people can be attracted to our business personality, the culture behind that, and rock that. I'm excited to have shared this with you. I look so forward to connecting with you. And until next time, I really want you to think about these questions. Ask yourself these questions, because it really does matter. It's imperative to your personal brand and your business brand. But until next time, I want you to be and live your brand and rock your brand, the brand unique way. Until next time, have a great and awesome day, because you totally deserve it.